Send this to Bucky.
At the Chatfish is doing now. That's me pulling in viewership. Because, YouTube is magic, so I've decided that I'm just going to use my own magic to do it. Oh, there's more people. See, look, it worked. All right, welcome to another Bunchcast chat. We've got a lot of news. Some of it good, some of it cringe, some of it horrible, and some of it, so-so. So, the first thing, and I hope I have these 4 articles in order, you little chunky chungus, we'll go through. Actually, you know what? No. Let's let people gather before we do this one if it's a big one, because I don't want to do like a big one in the middle. Let's pick one of these more bite-sized little ones. Pick more bite-sized little one first. Then do the big chunky thing that Bucky sent. Yeah, you know what? I think this one's a... to start with a positive note? No, that's not natural.
No, there's Squealy. You failed me, Squealy.
Kitten. He's like, meh. All right, we'll start with this one because this one's less so big. We kind of expected this, but it's also just confirmation of what we already know. This is a good starting article. Start small and work our way up. So, fans reckon the PS Studio website adjustments hint at Sony's move away from PC. This is an article from Push Square.
Yes.
So the thing here is that fans basically have noticed that they're removing PC notifications. I really don't need to read this article because it's not particularly surprising. And basically, Sony's attempting to back off because Sony thinks now that going on PC was a mistake, and they want their own proprietary thing because the whole Xbox, what's it called? Oh God, the name slipped my tongue.
Game Pass?
No, their new machine, the new Xbox that's coming.
Yeah.
The fridge.
Helix was the
Helix.
codename,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Codename Helix. Helix is basically looking like exactly what we predicted about that would be coming eventually. It is a PC in all but name. And it can basically play Steam games, and it can play any games. It can play GOG games. That's what Helix sounds like it's going to be. It play Xbox games, and Microsoft's also developing a emulator to play Xbox 360 and Xbox titles on PC, theoretically. Rumor-based. If that's true, it means Microsoft is finally abandoning like console exclusivity and trying to port their entire catalog to PC, from the sounds of it. Huge news, if true, by the way. Because that's basically cataclysmic. It basically Microsoft pulling out of the console wars. It's like Sega when Sega got wiped out during the Dreamcast, issue. So Sony is now panicking because Sony thinks it's going to lose what market control it has and is now attempting to withdraw from the PC market as a last-ditch thing. The console wars aren't over, I guess, but it's weird because they are. Microsoft's done and Sony's just fighting itself. Sony's basically backing out of PC, which is weird because some of their new titles didn't do well on PC. Curiously, all their new titles were woke slop, so I'm not entirely surprised they didn't do very well. They completely ignore the ones that are doing well, mind you, like Helldivers 2, the fact that it's sold astronomically high. And so it's not as profitable, and that's what they're claiming. But the reality is that they are afraid by putting it on PC that it will be playable on Helix, and that Microsoft's big 3D chess move was to get Sony to basically look like blithering morons, which actually their 3D chess or 4D chess move actually worked. Sony looks like blithering idiots. They're now retracting from PC because what Helix basically means is that Helix plays PC games and Xbox games, and that Xbox and PC are going to be one and the same now. If true, that means that all Sony games are now Xbox games, or Helix games, as we'll call it, right? Which means that Sony now no longer has anything whatsoever that makes them exclusive. Taking the literally no games meme to the next level and going literally nothing. You have nothing. And so Sony's basically backpedaling hard off of the PC platform, desperately trying to go back. But the problem, I think, is the damage is already done. Sony's kind of already fucked up. And now it's going to be up to whatever the fuck the next PlayStation is going to be. That's got to turn it around. They have 2 options here, right? Option number 1, retract to PlayStation and die a slow death. Option 2, pull a Project Helix of your own and create a proprietary software that you have to have, like a Sony equivalent of Steam, that you must boot up in order to buy and run games. And that will not work on Helix. And intentionally make it so the software doesn't work on Helix. which is
maybe they'll go back to CDs and have the wobble reader.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the fuck their plan is. Like Sony
There's no
is
plan,
so
kids.
fucked here. It's just a fucking shit show. It's like Klendathu Drop, man. It's all over again.
So you know why they're doing this, really, right?
Go for it.
Because they raised their fucking price of the PlayStation to $900.
No one's gonna buy that.
No one's gonna buy that, and so now there's zero reason for anybody to buy a PlayStation because the games are available on Steam. And hell, even Xbox has the goddamn the handheld Ally.
Yeah, they're entering
X or
the
whatever?
Steam Deck market / Switch market
Yeah.
by buying out. Microsoft basically bought out a company that was producing its own handheld platform for gaming, and Microsoft basically bought them out more or less, so that Microsoft could weasel into that market that Nintendo is in.
Man, that's Republic of Gamers, Gibbs. They just
Oh,
said, hey, make a Xbox version of your
deal for
Rogue
them.
Ally X.
So that way Microsoft can now compete with Switch and Steam Deck now. So now there's 3 players in the handheld market, which is hilarious, by the way, because Sony was actually the first to really nail that down with the PSP and the PSP Vita. Then they backed off that market, and now Sony's sitting there like, fuck! They forfeited that because the PSP was actually really powerful and really ahead of its time. But they abandoned it because it wasn't as profitable. Had they actually held the line and invested more resources into it with the technology we have now, the PSP could actually be a dominant figure in competing with the Switch. But Sony forfeited the handheld market, fucking themselves over.
Not only that, Kibbs, Sony didn't try hard enough to secure game development studios, and Xbox basically bought them all and said, "Hey, we won't make ours exclusive just to the Xbox. We'll let everybody use it."
Yeah, Microsoft basically has been incredibly aggressive in this campaign. Now, I don't really care for Microsoft, but
Microsoft took a huge fucking hit to their
yeah, this is a huge venture to do basically a crippling blow in the console wars. And I think the damage is actually crippling. I think Sony is actually experiencing like a torpedo blow. You know, it's like it's blown a hole in their whole scheme.
I think the issue is like Xbox and Microsoft hurt themselves to hurt Sony more.
Yeah, hurt each other.
Yeah.
It's an interesting little brawl to watch play out because it doesn't have really any negative effects on us directly. The only negative effects that it actually does have, though, is actually in the studios that Microsoft acquired. Mostly because Microsoft, if those studios produce a middling success or just a relatively okay game, they will actually just pull the plug anyways. Much like they did with that Hi-Fi Rush studio, because while it was successful, because they've set themselves so low, they have to liquidate everything. So they got to pull the plug on it anyways, despite it being successful. And there's also rumors about internal sabotage, which, honestly, considering stuff coming out from other Microsoft stuff that we're going to be looking at, like with Halo Studios, it's starting to unravel the little fucking nightmare that's going on inside there.
Wasn't Hi-Fi Rush like the only successful game they had for a while?
It was one of the few.
Just successful. It was
Hi-Fi Rush. Did they also shut down the studio behind it?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did.
There was an attempt by other companies to actually save it because they saw the profitability of it, if I remember right. I think the team ended up being salvaged by another studio, another publisher. Oh no, of all the people to get it, it's the Chinese. We all know how that works out. Chinese have them make something, get an 80% complete to 90% complete, then fire them, and then they're back to the wolves.
Why are you so racist against Nintendo?
Who said that?
Leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone.
Speaking of handhelds, when are you going to buy a Switch, Kips? I have one over there on my desk.
But what about a Switch 2?
Oh, it's buried under newspapers from the mail.
I'm gonna buy a Switch 2, and then that way I just have one in the house.
Just sitting there collecting dust like mine.
Well, there may or may not be a game that comes out that people might want to play.
Oh, okay.
And it's $500.
I mean, it's not that much. It's not like $900 for the PlayStation.
Exactly.
Nintendo decides that you haven't paid us enough money, so we're bricking your console.
Oh, that'd be funny.
That would be funny because I think you can sue for that. But like you can
because the Switch 2 can be remotely deactivated by Nintendo.
Yeah, which is nuts. By the way, is security breach potential.
No. We have the stuff for The Pocket Pair, right?
Pocket Pair. No, go ahead and post the
Even
article
more
again.
developments.
That's
The
the
Pal Worlds.
yeah. Post in Discord real quick. I'll open it.
Okay, yeah. You want to grab that?
I'll close the Sony one.
Rapier, you want to grab that or me?
Chumpa. Is it if I
You
scroll
can
up
grab
over
that because I don't know which.
Okay, that's fair. I'll go
Mm.
get that.
I don't
It's in
know
our
what you're
DMs.
talking
It's in our
about.
DMs.
I know it's in our DMs because that's why I said I'd go get it.
Yeah. Okay. Finally, it works. YouTube really is shooting the bed. What?
He wasn't getting the stream to launch.
YouTube
him.
being a pile of crap. Big surprise here. They've actually had a lot of flickering lately. Basically, flickering is where I'll notice my viewership goes from like 60 to 10. And then back up
All
to
right, I
60,
posted
which is
that
weird.
anyway.
Shake Chatfish is disintegrated. All right.
If she's to
The
be.
U.S. Patent Office has revoked Nintendo's 2025 patent on their summoning characters to battle on the player's behalf, either automatically or manually. This is the same patent cited in Nintendo's legal action against Palworld. Nintendo has 2 months to appeal this decision. Does not automatically end the Palworld lawsuit, but weakens Nintendo's position on this mechanic.
There's almost nothing in the U.S. market that Nintendo has been able to patent now against Pal World.
They've pretty much lost every fight. It's kind of like
but here's
over.
the big thing: because they lost in the U.S. Patent Office, Pal World can now take this decision to the international patent stuff and say, "Look, they literally lost on these grounds, and they could probably use that to leverage to get the international one pulled."
Yep, the international one, which will put pressure on Japan, and Japan, while Japan's government does back Nintendo, they only back them for the publicity. They generally, being little weasels, they will back off if the international community doesn't like it, because Japan
And
is
this is
susceptible to
why-
pressure.
Devrath, this is why I don't like Nintendo. They're patent trolls.
Nintendo.
They are patent trolls. They're not the only patent trolls that exist, but the problem with patent trolls is that it hurts everybody. Not just one game. Like, patenting mechanics is genuinely wrong. There's nothing good about patenting mechanics. The Nemesis system from Shadow of War, like, which is a really cool idea. Well, I mean, both games, right? Like, it's a really cool concept, and I would love to see it expanded and built upon, because it is really cool. But it's patented. So it can't be. And that's really agitating because it means like that.
Speaking,
I know, but the thing is, as a mechanic, people are locked out from it. Just like the time battle system that was in the Nintendo Entertainment System days of like the 90s and 2000s, that locked out entire studios from actually having an active based battle system for a while because of that. And so all games suffered because one game patented a mechanic. You cannot patent mechanics. It is just retarded. It's like patenting the start button or the save function on a game. Are you fucking nuts? Like, it's just like, you can't do that. Like, the only thing that you have is your IP, your intellectual property, the story, the universe, the franchise. But if somebody wants to make another shooter, well, Doom patented first person. No one can have first person mechanics. Retarded. That's retarded. Now go ahead, Squealy.
You can still do a Nemesis type system. You just can't call it as such.
Well, you can and can't, right? You can do a certain Nemesis type of system, but like if it has any similar mechanics in a court that could be looked at as like that's similarly mechanically, they could technically sue you for it. Which again scares every developer away because even as like, you know, making my game, right? If like the force mechanic, right, where you can push people over and knock people off of buildings or make them fall over, which is an armed game, right? If that was patented by somebody else, then I couldn't have that, and I'd have to remove that from our game, which would make our game just kind of like it wouldn't be the worst, but it's like, oh, that was kind of a core feature, you know. Now it's gone, and now our game is more like every other game because it doesn't have a unique mechanic that helps sets it apart because somebody else also used something similar and patented it. And it's just silly, you know what I mean? Or like having a timeline system where you can push characters back in the timeline, like our game has. Other games have that too. If somebody patented that system, the timeline system, then we couldn't make use of that, and so our game would have to be more arbitrary, like, you know, everybody goes based on a stat value and stuff like that.
By the way, he's referring to initiative.
Initiative,
not actual time travel.
Not time travel, yeah.
I'm going to patent a magic casting mechanic, but it also uses heat generation, and you have to regulate the heat distribution of characters while casting spells.
That's a buggy. Has to
But chat,
rewrite
it's not
all
magic.
the lore.
It's heat generation. It's magic with extra steps.
Hey, mine's magic, so I'm better than you. He's like, what? Mine's
So you agree it's magic?
Yeah, it always has been. There's different. So magic is something that's made up, right? But there's
It's not
different
magic.
types of well, hold on. There's different types of magic, right? On a creative base, Chumpa. I get what you're saying, and I get what Buggy's saying. Technically speaking, on a technical level, right? If there's a difference between hard-coded systems and non-hard-coded systems. An example of a non-hard-coded system would be something like, Star Wars. There are rules, but it's very light on the rules, and it's kind of vague with what it can and can't do, right? It gets worse as the time goes on, but that's mostly writers making mistakes than the actual setting itself, in my opinion. But, that's up for debate. Hard-coded rules define it.
You don't
as a
understand
science.
what I was gonna say.
Okay, go for it then. Go for it.
It's not magic because it's called a lumine.
God damn it. Look at this little autistic fuck. He's using
You know what? I
technicalities.
think Europa
You say I'm
Universalis-
autistic. I distinctly recall in a dev meeting
Microsquares.
you getting angry that someone said magic.
Yes, I
and
did.
Not a lumine.
And I will. Because it's fine for the viewers to think that. It's fine for Richard Vernigan or Mythic or anyone who plays our game to call it magic. But you are not allowed to call it that on the studio and in the studio. Why aren't you allowed to call it that in the studio? Tell me, Chumpa. What was the reason why we're not allowed to refer to it in-house as that?
Because it's not called magic. It's called a lumine.
God damn it, that's not the reason, you little autistic fuck. The reason is because I want the team to be thinking in terms of like how things are in the presence. Because if we think like what a commoner might think about the setting, or like somebody who's not super into it, then they're not going to take it as seriously. It's about the mentality, right? And it's about the okay, it's Illumine, it functions a certain way, it has certain mechanics, and it has to adhere to. Because there's the Lune system, which is different, and also has different mechanics it has to adhere to. That is different than the other system. And these things must be defined internally so that we don't make mistakes between conflating different systems together. Because the word magic conflates all things as like an umbrella term, and that's not a term I want the team to use. I want the team to use different terms. Chatfish are allowed to call it whatever the fuck they want. But you're not.
The only reason I make the joke is because I think Europa Universalis changed like the mana system or whatever the fuck it was called to some other name. And so I made the joke that Kibbs did the same thing.
The mana system. So for Chatfishes that don't know what he just referenced, Paradox games have a mana pool system. What's a mana pool system? It's a pool of resources that slowly accumulates over time and fills up with points, right? And these are mana pools, right? Paradox games loves mana pools. And one of the reasons why Imperator Rome failed, which is one of the titles they made, is because people didn't think about the systems as like parts of mechanics, like the political power system, which in Hearts of Iron is a mana pool, but you don't think of it that way because it's tied to a bunch of other systems and it works a different way. The reason why it felt the way differently in Imperator Rome was because everybody felt like it was just waiting for mana pools to fill up before they could do anything. And then they'd have to spend it in order to do stuff. It felt very gamey and arcadey, very whack-a-mole, as I remember people saying at the time. Hence why the game didn't do well. Because the systems became transparent, and when a system becomes transparent, it loses all immersion. You no longer see it for an immersive aspect of the game. You're now seeing it as a mechanical system that is very arbitrary and feels very, just empty. That's the issue with games that do that. You feel the system, you see through the wall. Once the player sees through the wall, you can't unsee it because they're no longer immersed. They are disconnected from the game experience. Autism aside, good job, Bucky. You had to add like complex things that we had to explain to fishies. Because not every chatfish is going to get that. God damn it. Because not every chatfish was there for that conversation. There. Now chatfish know everything. Look at them. Like smart.
And knowing is half the battle.
Chacho says, will Nintendo patent dogs because of Nintendogs? Yes. And if you don't, if you have a dog, they'll have to put it down. Because that's how that works. Nintendo's going to get you. Nintendo's going to get your dog. They become PETA.
They always were.
So yeah. Anyway, moving back on to Pallyworld. Pallyworld. So Pallyworld winning this, pretty big deal. Also, it shakes up Nintendo's monopoly. Nintendo has a monopoly, and it means that you're expect to see other games with now trying to do the Pokemon thing. Now that Palworld has cracked open that patent, so to speak, more studios are going to start taking advantage of that because now it feels like people can make games about capturing monsters and making them fight each other, because now it's not as scary. Somebody broke through the blockade, so to speak.
I'm still waiting to see if Pikmin does the same thing.
Pikman or
Pikmin.
Pikmon? What's Pikmon? Is that another game? Fuck.
That's the Palworld ripoff that has.
Oh my god, there's a
Legend
game
of
called
Zelda.
Pikmon. It sounds so much like Pikmin. Oh my god.
Yes, because they straight up copy paste mechanics from every other game.
I know, but
and-
Pikmin has nothing to do with that. It's just a little silly.
Yeah,
Like,
well, as far as you know.
oh my god. Pikmin is an action strategy game that's actually really, really cute and really adorable. And everybody loves
Yeah,
that
it's
game.
interesting how Nintendo's not gone after that game at all.
What do you mean? Pikmin's a Nintendo property. Of course they're not going to attack
Pikmon.
it.
They want Pikmin to succeed so they can be vindicated when they kill Palworld.
That was the idea, I think. Because I think Pikmin is probably backed by Nintendo, if I had to guess.
It's a Chinese company.
Okay, well, Nintendo realizes they can't do anything
It's a
about China.
Chinese, like, when I was looking them up, I couldn't find any real info on the publisher behind them or the thing, and they looked like shell companies.
Interesting. Suspicious is what that is.
Chewbacca.
And they straight up are copying Pokemon, like straight just ripping the entire designs from Pokemon and Legend of Zelda and just like a bunch of Nintendo IPs.
Probably
And it's coming
means
out on the Switch.
something fishy's going on there behind the scenes. That's gonna.
Yeah.
Who knows if we're gonna find out about that because it's China. But yeah, if it's got shell company surrounding it and it's all fucking smoke and mirrors, then it's probably some sort of bullshit going on. Some 4D chess play somebody's doing. That or just a Chinese company being retarded. What the two?
These are just Chinese companies being tried.
I mean, there's a possibility. It has happened. But yeah, Palworld. It's a game. It's a game that's isn't it slated to release this month? I can't remember.
Palworld?
It's 1.0 launches like this year, isn't it? Or am I mistaking this?
Might be.
I can't know. I
I
can't
don't
remember if
know.
I'm mistaking this with another game. I
Just
know
ask Depresso.
games are going to be slated for launch this month. April's going to be kind of a big month. There's a lot of games launching this month. Like we had
I'm
Xenonauts
looking up
earlier.
on Palworld.
We got Magic the Gathering, or not Magic the Gathering. Heroes of Might and Magic returns finally with Olden Era. It'll be launching at early access on April 30th. And we have some more news about the Jurassic Park game supposedly coming soon. And we also have news about the State of Decay game finally getting news. So, we'll see. We'll see.
Isn't it the one with the flag trailer?
The trans flag trailer? Yes, that is the same game. We're going to finally probably hear actual news about that game, or whether it's because they're all woke and tarded, or is the game actually going to be good? Because State of Decay was basically like a more actionable, more different take on sort of like the Project Zomboid formula, where it's less simulated, a bit more arcadey, but it still had some really cool concepts. Like, it was actually really interesting. It's just whether or not they've maintained those mechanics or they sacrificed them on the ideological sacrificial table, I don't know. We'll find out, though. One way or the other, Chatfish.
Not seeing anything about Palworld's 1.0 release on the Steam page. Or their news.
If you don't
section
protect your
of Steam.
IPs, can't you lose the patent? IPs are not really the same as patents. I'm also not a legal expert, so I don't really know. But like an IP and a patent aren't technically the same thing. They're different. Like an IP or intellectual property is something you can't lose. For example, the IP I have, I own because it's my intellectual property. I will own it until I die. And then I think is it 50 years after my death, then it becomes public domain. If I remember right.
Don't worry, Kibbs. Just sign over your rights to me.
Because, 50
think-
years upon my death, the stuff I made will become public domain. I believe it's 50 years.
May
No.
may your hobby become
I
mainstream.
don't even think it needs to be like
Ooh,
for 50
the Walt
years. Like
Disney
50 years
gives.
is ridiculous.
Walt Disney gives.
I know Walt Disney.
Freeze Kib in a jar, and we'll we'll revive him in
It'll be like
like
one of those
28
freezer accidents with like cryostasis
2200.
experiments where the people just turn to sludge. God damn.
I like
All
the
right.
idea of freezing Kib's head in a jar.
Next
What's
article.
next?
Best Buy just dumped prices on its Kingston DDR5 to keep up with Micro Center. Micro Center already cut G-Skill 50% today. It's becoming a price war in RAM at the moment. This was, by the way, dated at March 29th, earlier or later last month.
Because it was only like 5 days ago.
Yeah, 5 days ago. I'm just letting you know it's been a bit. It's been a few days since then. But yeah, so here you can see some of the
I'll
prices.
explain.
Go ahead.
Chat. Remember the other week when we talked about how there's a AI algorithm that Google has created that drops RAM utilization by like 6-7 times, and then OpenAI isn't actually buying 40% of the world's RAM. JK, lol. Well, this is now what's happening. They can't actually use any of that RAM, and the people that manufacture the RAM can't sell it now because they jacked the prices so high. So now they're slashing. It's a fire sale about to happen.
My God. So Chaffish can dive into RAM soon, maybe?
Yeah, but it's also the death knell for AI development.
This is the end of AI. It reminds me of Dead Space 3. The age of AI is at an end. The age has come to an end. We've become too many and with too little to go around. All right, so let's see. This one's tied to this one as well. Samsung announces acquisition of Micron Consumer Division. The deal is valued at $50 billion and transitions the crucial brand into Samsung Odyssey. Micron has previously announced it would step away from consumer products so that it would be a smoother transition in the back end.
Yes. So, Chad, remember when Micron was like, "Hey, we're gonna pull out our Crucial brand and move into directly supplying AI data centers with RAM," and so they sold to Samsung their fucking consumer division, and now their projected gains from the AI data center revenue, it has been slashed by 6 to 7 times at the minimum, and also the AI initiatives are going bankrupt, and so now Micron's sitting there holding its dick in its hand, going, "Okay, we just sold off our major money revenue source, and also, uh, you know, our forecasts are terrible." And so if you were to look at Micron's stock value, it has dropped by like fucking 20%.
That's pretty bad. That's catastrophic, actually.
Yeah, because so they got rid of the consumer division. It's like, okay, yeah, you guys are dumb.
They just killed themselves, pretty much. Like, they're going to have to, like, I don't even know. They're going to have to restructure, rebuild it. And, like, that's going to take
Yeah, I
time
mean
and
they
money
got
to
$50
do.
billion to maybe do it, but again, Micron has just dumped a shit ton of money into retooling their lines for the AI like data centers RAM, which now no longer has a market because they're all being
Because AI is collapsing, finally.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked. I mean, well, get fucked, I guess. Get fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad Samsung is, taking over, but it's not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, it just
It's
means
just
another corporation now gained significantly more power
mhm.
on the market, which means it's becoming more Amazon-like. I mean, Samsung already had a decent market share. Now they're getting even more chunks by gobbling up
Well,
this
because
stuff.
because Samsung makes NVMe twos,
Mm.
like SSDs and stuff. So making uh DDR, RAM stuff is not that bad.
It's an easy transition for them. It's a similar
It's also
like stuff.
it's also the Samsung's quality check is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
So
I
yeah, there
guess
you
there's
go.
some good stuff to come out of that. But yeah, so Samsung is becoming very powerful. Good for them. Micron is becoming very sad. Get fucked,
Bad
I
for them.
suppose. Get fucked, I suppose. Probably, if I had to guess, it's going to be, one just completely snuffing out the other. But yeah, that's in time, right? So interesting. The next article is also related to the same thing. It's part of like a story almost. RAM prices are
Yeah.
crashing in huge market correction. New reports show that the crisis may be subsiding as DDR5 retail prices pull back.
Yeah. So basically, this is saying, oh look, the RAM prices are dropping, and this might be a good time to buy. As shown, like RAM prices slashed in half because now there's a shit ton of fucking stock, and nobody wants to buy anything, and so these DDR5s are just sitting on shelves because no one's paying $500 for it.
No one wants to
That'd
spend
be
500
ridiculous.
bucks on a stick of RAM. It's
Yeah,
nuts. Look at that thing. It's
but
tiny. Is that worth 500 bucks? No.
Yes.
yeah, it's for to somebody. But so if you go to the next one, Gibbs, that I had,
And then
yeah, so
go to
get rid
that.
of that.
Yes, RAM prices are finally starting to fall, but here's why you should still hold off from buying. Patience
So
is
I
key.
think this, Gibbs, is a Jim Cramer article.
What do you mean by that?
Do you know what a Jim Cramer is?
No, but the name sounds familiar.
You ever heard of the inverse Cramer law?
Where it's like, don't do it, but it actually saying it so that you do it, like the opposite, reverse psychology.
So Jim Cramer is 100% wrong at all times, and if he ever tells you to buy a stock, dump it.
Dump
And
it.
if
Gotcha.
he tells you to dump a stock, that means buy it. I think this is a Jim Cramer article saying for people to not buy the RAM. And I think they're doing this is because they don't want people buying at the low point for RAM,
No, buy at the
because
high
they're trying
point.
they want you to buy RAM at a higher price, because what this is that because of all this free fall in RAM and the mass availability and and then they're racing to the bottom right now, eventually the stock is going to get bought out and then the price is going to jump back up because nobody's making RAM at the moment for the consumer side. So it's important to buy it low while it's like 10% higher than it is like 2 years ago, but don't wait until it goes back up again by like 20% or more. Get it while it's low now, is what I'm saying. Because it's going to be a while before they start churning out RAM again.
Yeah, because it's going to be backed up. Because now they got to fill a demand that's been kind of vacant for a while.
Yeah.
And that's in order to fulfill that negative. I forget what it's called, but like it's basically like you have a stockpile, and then you have like the amount of things you have. But then if you're at a deficit, that stockpile needs to meet a certain criteria before it's actually producing in storage. So because you're filling needs every time you produce something.
Yeah, let me find one more article.
Trevor's sort of like,
Because
Bucky
there's one
is
about
smart. Look at that. Look, you got a compliment from Prime McPepe. Smart squirrel boy. Smart squirrel. Bucky knows his stuff. People give them shit, but he's a smart little guy. Unfortunately, makes it
so
hard to make
I
fun
need
of
to find it, but there's an issue where a shit ton of Chinese RAM suppliers ended up buying a massive amount of RAM early on, hoping that they can sell at a high point, and now they're desperately trying to figure out how to get the fucking market back, because now that RAM prices have collapsed recently, they're going to eat a huge negative.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. And the question is, how many of these companies are gonna survive that negative? I think they can survive, but they're gonna have to make some serious hard choices, slashing, firings, letting go of certain divisions,
Murder, always.
liquidating certain assets to stay above that waterline while they slowly recover their stock. It's not gonna be pretty. It's not gonna be pretty.
Yeah, but right now there's like these people are in China holding onto their RAM supply because if they sell it, they're guaranteed a loss. Oh yeah, I found it because I sent it to you. I'll put it in here.
Do it, Bucky. Do it while you still can.
There you go. So this is what they're hoping for, is that people hold off on buying RAM now while it's low.
This guy looks a little stressed out, honestly.
Yeah.
Is that one of the
And
Chinese people? Chinese,
yeah.
yep. The scalpers.
Yes, the scalpers. And so they're hoping that if they wait it out long enough, the prices are going to go back up before they release their inventories again and trickle it. Kind of like how the RAM mafia did, or the memory mafia did back in like the 2000s, where they were price fixing by strangling supply.
Curious. This guy looks like he's not having a good day. No, I think this is edited, but still. It's too perfect. But yeah, so basically, the thing here is that, man, I mean, he's in a very precarious situation. This is like limited time. Because a lot of that stuff he has there is just like stuff that's worth less than what he paid for.
Yeah. So Devroth says that he wished he would have waited, because he had to buy more RAM about 3 months ago. I think the issue is, Devrath, is that nobody thought that Google would put out a fucking algorithm that would save like 6 times the fucking efficiency. Not only that, Nvidia did it too, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've
both
seen
of those
that.
big corporations, Nvidia and Google, which means that if they manage to reduce the amount of stuff they need, that means that they've been overproducing a massive stockpile of resources for these things. That is now completely useless because they don't need a fraction of them anymore because they've gotten more efficient. Not to mention, there's like a bunch of data centers that are now canceled or outright delayed over, I think, 50% or something like that, which is insane. Which means that the AI bubble is finally bursting, and it's fortunately bursting early, which means that the damage will be smaller than what it could have been.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta find it, but it was just like a couple of the news was in on X this week about it.
Did I have it? I thought I had.
And it's pretty impressive.
Many are wondering what Google saw that caused them to revise their post-quantum cryptography transition deadline to 2029 last week. It was this: safeguarding cryptocurrency by disclosing quantum vulnerabilities responsibly. Specifically, this paper, it's a brand new... Is this related? I don't actually think this is. No. Wrong one. Nope, that's the Roblox guy.
No, I'll find it. Created Salt today.
It's me, John Roblox.
Yeah, I found it. That was quick. Okay. I'll just post it in here. But it's really interesting, all of these efficiency algorithms coming out.
NVIDIA has a new tech called neural texture compression. It's cut VRAM use a lot. In one demo, texture went from 6.5 gigabytes down to 970 megabytes of memory. It is about 7 times less memory. Jesus. That's quite the compression.
So it's the same. It's roughly the same thing that Google created.
That's like fucking, yeah, that is 7 times compression, which is genuinely insane. Which means that the amount of RAM needed is going to drop drastically.
Yeah. And so nobody expected these two to come out with this shit. But I think it's going to have a drastic impact on the market going forward. Because if you only need 16 gigabytes of RAM to run all of the highest end stuff again, in that including your GPUs, it's going to kill the RAM market hard for the Chinese.
Yeah, the Chinese are in serious trouble. Not that it bothers, I think, much of anyone here or even in chat, because I mean, this will not be anything mostly negative for anybody here. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's been too long since China had another collapse.
Yeah, and so this is what's causing the Chinese scalpers to freak out.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean,
so my recommendation, chat, is if you need to absolutely buy 32 gigabytes of RAM now, do it soon while the price is around $200. Do not wait until it starts jumping back up.
Yeah, if you need to make stuff, now's your window. Now's your window, chatfishies. take that advantage while you got it. And if not, then hold your nose, because it'll be a while before the next window will appear. I mean, the next time that window appears will be post that scarcity. So the production rate should match what demand is actually at, and so it should reach a level point, right?
Yeah, whenever Samsung gets its tooling online and start producing consumer RAM, which will probably be in about a year.
Yep, about a year to get those facilities operational, and then get that like set up and that logistics functioning. So yeah, in a year's time, then I think we should be looking at some normalizing numbers for the RAM, probably. Hopefully.
Yeah, but also hopefully these efficiency things are out on the market fully.
Yeah, I mean, this efficiency tech will even then make RAM even less needed, in terms of like you won't need as much, because honestly, like optimizing the tech we have basically means that we don't have to constantly, figure out how to miniaturize things, because we kind of reached a point in which how we can stack and miniaturize stuff before we can't go any lower, right? And so now the next step of progress, because progress never stops with physical limitations, it merely just begins.
Upgrades, people.
Upgrades, people, upgrades, right? The greatest example of this is Resident Evil 2 for the N64. A game that needed 2 discs for PlayStation 1, but was compressed due to technical engineering insanity on a cartridge that was like 48 megabytes? I forget, like 250 megs? I can't remember. It's like tiny. It's a tiny cartridge in terms of storage space by comparison, which is impressive, the data compression that was done. This is because, again, when engineers need to basically work with the tech they have to work with the tools we have. So it's time to optimize and upgrade the resources we have. So while the physical limitations of miniaturization might have reached a standstill, that means the next thing that's going to begin activating and triggering like massively is going to be actually improving and optimizing that tech, which we're already seeing. Which is just going to be a net good for you, chat. It means RAM's going to be more powerful. It means people are going to be optimizing the resources that they have, so that when you buy, the RAM you buy, your 1 stick of RAM now has way more power than it did before.
6 times. Maybe
6 times the power. But the tech is the
Could be 6, 7.
same. It's just the
That means now
methodology's
games can
improved.
be even less optimized.
That's not the good thing. That's bad.
Sick.
See, that's
Nasty.
true, because anytime there's an excess of something, it causes other sectors to get lazy, right? And the reason why game devs were getting better again at RAM, just like they were back in the 2000s again, was because they hit a limit about that RAM and the RAM inflation stuff, which forced developers to switch back into their engineering mindsets from the previous generation. It's not that the tech is going to be lost per se, or that the methodology is lost. It's that it will appear when it is needed. It just takes time, and the annoying thing is sitting there waiting for them to rediscover what we knew way back when, right? Optimization. So, whoa, that's a lot of words. But yeah. Wow. That is good news. So yeah, look at that. AI is popping, and you're all going to benefit from it. Just woo.
I like how I'm the one keeping on top of all this news.
He actually is. Bucky's been Giga Chad. Not only was Bucky the first fucking little chuckle fuck to find out about it, because when he first brought it up to me, what was it, a year ago? It was like last spring, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Something like that. I can't remember. And then we started covering it on the Bunchcast, and now it's been, well, over a year now, I think. And yeah, the like watching the entire story and journey of this has been rather interesting. We were there.
Well, I like how people said,
getting to the
"Oh
end.
no, it wouldn't have the RAM prices."
Yes,
won't
what's
increase,
funny is how
or the
many
PC
people
prices
told
wouldn't
you
increase."
were wrong about it. But not only were you right, but you've been right up pretty much about everything. So look at that, Bucky. You got something to brag about. And don't you worry, Chad. He'll rub it in every opportunity.
I will. But I know you're out there, chat. I know which ones.
Wheelie.
Know which ones they're.
Take over.
Trumpy's got to go. Good luck, Trumpy. He's dead.
Chumpy bumpy.
Trump's like, "Bleh." His floating belly up. And Chapter Bucky. Bucky does know his stuff. AI has been trash, says Gruncha Buncha. Yeah, so interesting. And good job, Buckabush, for catching this.
Also, chat. I need to know. Posting in the stream channel. Well, in the live chat. How many of you have aftermarket routers? I need to know.
Oh, you might as well post that thing. I told them about that in the previous Fireside in case they had something that might get them in trouble because of security breaches. But there are more fishes here now than there were at the fireside when I talked about this. Or, well, actually, no, it's about the same. But there's odds are there's different fishes because every day different fish shows up.
Yeah.
Post it, post it, post it.
Why do I have to post it?
Because you have it. Okay, fine. I'll go in our DMs.
I do have it here.
Oh my god! As I press the thing.
I know.
All right, there we go. So here we go. This is basically a. Well, actually, no. Go ahead. This is Bucky. Bucky
Chat,
Security
so
Man.
I'm waiting for see who does. Does anybody have Netgear as a router?
I do. Now, unfortunately, mine's not on here, but I do have a Netgear.
I don't think so.
What?
What?
I don't.
What?
I don't use
What?
router. Don't need one, says Primac Pepe, as he just plugs in.
How do you not have a router, chat?
Chatfish, you know, they use McDonald's Wi-Fi, all right?
I bet they
use
have.
McDonald's Wi-Fi.
I bet they have their fucking modem and router in one device, and they're going, "I don't need a router." And it's like, no, you literally have to have a router.
Yeah, everybody has one,
to-
chat. You
Yeah, everybody has
all
one.
have routers. All of us have routers. Otherwise, you don't have internet.
Okay.
Unless you're like
Well,
using
it's
like
not
some
real.
sort of like, you know, Wi-Fi from your neighbors. I'm plugged in. I'm plugged in too. I'm using a router. Routers are plugged in. They can be wireless and they can be wired. If you're connected to your home internet connection, you have a router. No, not possible. Not
Yeah, it's my internet runs on Magic and Unicorn. I don't know.
Unicorn come. That's not something internet should ever run on.
That's terrible.
I'm not on the list. No, you're on a separate list. Creeper.
Damn. Oh, then it's the service provider one. Yeah, because your service
Yeah.
provider will give you a router too. I know.
It's a router and modem together. If you're not doing high speed internet, like I have a separate modem and router thing that it extends the coverage in the apartment. But yeah,
But what's wrong with them? What could be wrong with this stuff, Bucky? What's happened?
I mean, there's it literally tells you what it is.
I know, but it'd be funnier to hear it from you, Bucky.
I mean,
Do you want me to
it
read
just
it?
has vulnerabilities written into it.
Yes,
In C code.
there are basically holes in it that people can get through and access and use your stuff pretty much. So that's why it's
Yeah.
important to, you know, be
None
aware.
of these routers have automatic updates and stuff for their chipsets, so you have to manually go in. There's no patch they can automatically just push out. They have to be done locally.
Yep, you have
so
to
it's just
go in
better
and
just to get
update it
rid of them.
manually. Because a lot of us are very used to this now, right? Like a lot of us can just like plug in something and then your computer will actually download the driver. The age of having to get a disk and download drivers is not really a thing anymore. Like a lot of things you just plug in and then it just sort of downloads your driver, scans what it is, and then gets the driver for the thing you have. And that's why things have become so easy. But with some of this older technology, you have to manually update it, because if you don't,
Mhm.
those vulnerabilities are a big problem. It's like, for example, say you
Yeah.
have a Windows XP computer and you plug it into the internet. It's a very big risk. Why? Because your Windows XP computer security features that it has built on board or that were updated on board cease getting support, which means any vulnerabilities in that XP system that were not patched by Microsoft are still there and are now well-known vulnerabilities. That means going to certain websites, certain things are going to crawl through those weaknesses in that Windows XP computer because it doesn't have security updates anymore. That's why it's important when a PC, you know, falls out of security, that you're careful with how you use the internet, because by plugging the internet, you're opening like a transmittable disease from passing through with that connection.
Yep.
That's one of the risks of having a Windows XP computer and connecting it to the internet. That's why if
That's
you
why
have that,
VPN is useful.
you have VPN, yeah. Like if you have a Windows XP computer, you're probably better off just, you know, not connecting it to the internet and downloading things on a thumb drive and then updating it that way. It's more secure.
There are things the U.S. government is worried about as well, that VPNs aren't enough anymore.
Yeah, I mean, as technology advances, there's more and more loopholes, right? As people discover things, it's like the race between the shield and the bow. You know, it's the
So,
constant
chat,
figuring
if you
things
know
out.
how wireless VPNs work or whatever, you connect your device to a network and then you turn your VPN on because you need internet connection to create the tunnel or whatever. The U.S. government is now saying that initial connection from the computer to whatever wireless connection you're doing will get around the VPN now.
No, that's not good.
And whatever attack that's happening that they're worried about makes the VPN tunnel useless.
Yep. Yeah, because network tunneling, right, simulates like it's going through a different location. So it makes it hard for things to jump on board because, well, it's in a tunnel. So it's kind of hard to pass through. But the new technologies that these like hacker dudes got, like figured out, is that they can now detect or just figure out you're in a tunnel and just pop in. And it's like, hello. Hello.
It's me, Hacker Man.
Yeah, basically, there's something called it's a more sophisticated man in the middle attack that they're starting to do, but I don't know much about it, but the United States is just actively trying to build systems to get around it. So you're gonna start seeing people bringing like you know how you have the wireless cards or whatever that people used to build
Mhm.
onto their PCs or connected to the PC to like a USB connection
Yeah.
back in like the early 2000s. That's going to start making a comeback.
Okay. I mean, you know, if you gotta, you gotta.
Because what they'll do is that what they'll do is that they'll make they'll turn it on, and that will connect to the Wi-Fi first, and then that will put out its own Wi-Fi, and for your device to connect to that instead.
So it's gotta like jump. Then they're gonna figure out something about how to jump from that to that.
Yep, but it's just one of those things.
It's the race. Yep.
It's the race. Gonna make me a lot of money.
Cha-ching. Well, I mean that's good. Somebody's got to make money from it. Somebody's gonna. Might as well be squirrely boy. So yeah, there you go, chat. Now you've been informed. Use this information. Become powerful and strong.
But Jeffrey's weak and flimsy.
Well, maybe a little less flimsy now. Maybe a little.
We like made in a wub of shit.
We got through that one. We got through that one. We got through this one, and this one. And we did this, and we did that. And we didn't do this. All right, is that all the tech stuff? We should probably do all the tech stuff in one go. I actually moved this again. Yeah, this is another tech thing. Yep, that's not. Slide it there. Boop. So we got another thing. Now, Bucky sent me this as well, because look at this. He's a little tech guy, isn't he? It's kind of crazy. Guess you can guess what Bucky does. Many are wondering what Google saw that caused them to revise their post-quantum cryptography transition deadline to 2029.
Cryptography, kid.
Cryptography. Now, Bucky, what is cryptography for Chatfish? What does that mean?
It's the process of obscuring data
and yeah,
or information.
The opposite of that, chat, would be decryption, right?
Yes.
So that's the process of like getting through it for Chatfish. Transition deadline to 2029 last week. It was this: safeguarding cryptocurrency by disclosing quantum vulnerabilities responsibly. Was the post, and specifically this paper. It's a brand new resource estimate that's wildly lower than prior estimates of what it would take to break ECC-256, featuring the Google Quantum AI team, plus Justin Drake, plus Dan Bona. And it says, what? Go ahead.
So ECC 256 is the industry standard for encryption. You'll see that a lot on cell phones, small, non-sophisticated devices as well, wireless routers, everything else. It's very sophisticated, but basically the idea is that the what do you call it? The article that Google put out about reducing the resource requirements for RAM directly line up with this because of the algorithm utilization. it starts cascading different effects, and this is one of them. Breaking cryptography now becomes 7 times easier
Yep.
because of the resource utilization.
Now, I remember hearing about this back when I was in what? Fucking second grade, I think. And my dad told me about something about cell technology and cellular phones because we were driving right to a
Yeah.
work job. And that cell phones were supposed to not be something that you could break into because it was like, oh, it's super encrypted. And then literally within the first week or whatever, somebody broke that and figured out how to do it, like decrypted it when they said that cellular technology could not be decrypted, right? It could. And so basically what we have here is that the technology that's basically been improving since that point has now been yet again broken through. And now is much easier, well, not necessarily broken through just yet, but because we've improved our RAM, decrypting and breaking those codes is much easier because technology's gotten faster, which will make any security we have now all be at risk because of this new technology. Is that correct? Or no? Trying to explain to Chatfishes, but I'm also kind of a little bit potato-y.
Yeah, so but that's basically it. So chat, just to let you know, this means your Bitcoin is about to become worthless soon.
Well, if you have Bitcoin, yeah, because that means they can just steal it, actually.
Yeah, they can just break the chain, the blockchain.
Might be time to liquidate assets and move assets and resources into different places, I guess. Physical.
Yeah.
That's good.
But I'm not, an expert at that. It's obviously your choice, Chatfishes. But yeah, if I was having any sort of cryptocurrency, might be, time to consider securing it in different locations or those assets, so to speak. Because if they can decrypt things faster, now your encryption that keeps you protected, your encryption key, is now much easier to break, 7 times easier to break than it was before.
Yeah, and again, Bitcoin is the easiest one because Bitcoin is one of the older cryptocurrencies. Its blockchain is more archaic,
And less involved,
but that doesn't mean much because the efficiency rule means that data centers can just create more data centers because again, it's 7 times more efficient at cracking things.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
Yep, time to return to NFTs. Bro, that shit's already been broken a long time ago.
The NFTs were busted before. Yeah,
They never had any value to begin with.
They never had any value. Yes, correct.
Yeah, NFTs were one of those. Definitely, that was more scam. The cryptocurrency or crypto bros, as you call it, had a little bit more validity to it because there was a little bit more backing that up, right? Versus the NFTs, the problem with that is that it was never secure. It's a fucking PNG, and anybody can right-click, copy, and save. Is the issue.
Devroth is pulling up. He's like, everyday monetary and financial transactions are also at risk as well. Not quite, because the difference between crypto blockchains and financial institutions is financial institutions can update their cryptography.
Yes. Whereas these blockchains are, once they're out, they are archaic. It's like Windows XP, right? They're no more, it's no longer supported. There's no updates. And if there's no updates to the security, the loopholes that were there, because there's always a hole in something, right, becomes found. And as it's found, that information is then disseminated. And as it's disseminated, everybody now knows about that exploit to get in.
Yeah, don't let me get started on Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll?
My apes, Odo, my apes.
Yeah, you don't know about this? The entirety of Crunchyroll's payment processing information and emails of the customers and their card information has all been leaked on the internet already this
Good
week.
thing I don't have a
It's been
Crunchyroll
a couple
account.
weeks ago.
Fucking A.
Yeah, I got rid of mine like a month ago, right before this happened.
I don't know if I've ever had a Crunchyroll account. I better double check, make sure. If it was many, many years ago, so my payment information would be all super duper out of date. Expired.
Yeah.
Yeah, no feel. Bonobo with hyper realistic chatfish says, yeah, no Feels like NFT sham is finally over, thank God. NFT investors looking at their one-of-a-kind custom patented bank account overdrawn notice. Crazy how one dude killed the Bored Ape thing for the heck of it.
Right click, paste.
My apes, Odo, my apes.
Oh my God, what a completely nuts
Control
thing.
C, Control P.
Like, it's the most, like, control print screen. Like, literally, like, there are keys on your keyboard that kill that entire thing as, like, a concept. It's
I
like,
still miss Crypto Island though.
But you own it. You own like the
I wanted Crypto Island to
URL
be
for
real.
this specific image.
yeah, and then somebody gets the URL for that image, and then what?
Never, you didn't own the image. You owned the description of the image. That was the funny thing. That's like saying, Kibbs, I didn't own your IP. I owned the description of your IP.
It's like, what the
Could-
fuck?
Because it just has my name tacked onto the description, which is really funny.
That'd be like a weird loophole. Bonobo did it. Little sneaky monkey.
Yep, but there you go, chat. Cryptocurrency is about to become wildly unstable. And so, good luck if you hold it still. My
You'll be
recommendation,
strong.
go to baseball or Pokemon cards again.
I mean, that's
Those are
true.
probably
Those
gonna
have a lot more value, actually.
Baseball. Huh?
I still have my Lord of the Rings collectible trading cards. They're worth a small fortune now, but a very small fortune. Literally like $1,000. I found out about that the other day. I was like, "That's wild." I always thought these were just weird little cards. But you learn new stuff every day, don't you, Chatfish? Chatfish are seed. So let's see. Next up we have is something a little bit different, a little bit shocking even. So, as you all know,
Oh boy.
As you all know,
Oh boy.
what?
I was just watching you click on the things on accident.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said. They're going to be rebooting the Lord of the Rings stuff, right? And so Andy Serkis confirms Aragorn recasting in new Lord of the Rings movie. A different actor is going to fill the Strider's boots because it's going to be a younger version of him. And I heard that the older version from a different article will be reprising that role, but I actually lost that article. But yeah, so Andy Serkis confirmed for the first time to be playing the role of Aragorn. Will be played by a new actor in this upcoming Lord of the Rings prequel called The Hunt for Gollum, which we've heard about before, and it's actually going forward. Elijah Wood hints at Lord of the Rings return. Doesn't want anybody else playing Frodo. Serkis
Only
said,
I can.
yeah,
Frodo
Serkis
Baggins.
said the role played by Viggo Mortensen in the original trilogy will be recast. I don't know what's out there at the moment, but I know there's a lot of speculation. But let's just say we are recasting the role, and we are on the way to finding someone, Serkis said. So yeah, they're basically looking for a new Aragorn for the Lord of the Rings prequel. They're gonna have to. I mean, even if like if I ignore my skepticism about this already, Vigo is just he's old, and so having him play like a younger role, just like it's been 2 decades now, almost 3, like since the filming of Lord of the Rings. Like it's fucking been a long time. He's old now. He's like 20, almost 30 years older now.
Yeah. I missed the Lord of the Rings and the Twin Towers.
Oh, the wings.
The two towers. It's not the
Twin Towers.
So
Well, they both crumbled, Kibbs.
that getting another actor is better than just doing digital necromancy like they did on
Star
like,
Wars,
for a lot of the old
or they
for Star
did it. They
Wars.
did it in Hobbit with they did digital necromancy for Saruman, if I remember right. Right, because Christopher Lee was dead by then, if I remember right. I think he's CG, and it's kind of like uncanny. Digital necromancy is just kind of like uncanny and gross, in my opinion.
It depends on how you do it. If you find an actor that looks a lot like them, but not quite, you could do the digital necromancy on them, and it wouldn't look that bad.
As long as it's a real person, but when it's just like a guy in a green suit, it just don't work.
Because
I
Fast
just think it's immoral. That's why I like it.
yeah, the Fast and Furious series did that with Paul Walker's brother, where because they were twins, it was really easy to map his face on them.
Yep, because they were very similar. into how they looked. And that was a bit more
Yeah.
respectful because it was actually the brother, so it was actually a family member rather
Yeah.
than it being completely replaced. You know,
He's still in the series too, which is really funny.
it's weird. It's weird.
Yep. Yeah, he's just still playing in the series.
But yeah, so like, my skepticism about the Lord of the Rings movie, I think, boils down to the fact that The Hobbit wasn't particularly good. Was it the worst thing ever? No. Was it good? No, it wasn't. Like, the first Hobbit movie was probably the strongest one, and then the other two movies just really kind of lost their footing really badly. And they're not like the worst movies ever made. It's not like Rings of Power bad, right? But they're not good. And Lord of the Rings was kind of like that lightning in the bottle where those three movies just kind of like hit so well. And while they do have some problems here and there, by and large, they're fantastic movies. Ignoring like some of the like tiny little issues, right? The nitpicking. And so it's like, I don't think we can do that again, because when watching a lot of the developer documentaries with Peter Jackson and talking about Lord of the Rings movies, is that they talk about capturing the ideas and ideology and politics of Tolkien and his beliefs, and so that was why they did it. Because there's an interview, and I don't remember which one, but basically they go on and talking about like, we thought about it for a long time, and we were like, no, we're going to try to capture his ideology and like his politics over ours, even though it contrasts with what we believe personally, because that's the most respectful way to portray his work, is to try to honor his memory as much as we can. And while they didn't do everything perfectly, you know, because he would not have liked the action scenes, but at the end of the day, I think they still did a good job capturing the overall theme and atmosphere of what the Lord of the Rings was trying to set, the overall vibes, the overall like morals that the movie tries to basically encompass of camaraderie, brotherhood, and fellowship. And I think they did a good job at the end of the day. I think when all is said and done, I think they did a fantastic job. And so much so that I don't think they can do it again, because every time they've ever tried to do anything similar, like everybody who's ever approached this subject, especially with Rings of Power or The Hobbit, which had Peter Jackson directed again, they didn't really feel like they actually tried to do that again. Like they were trying to honor that memory, that legacy. It felt very much like, well, we did it the first time, and now we can coast off the success of the first time. So now it's fair game to do whatever we want now, because we did the thing we were supposed to once. Now we can do whatever. You know, gloves off. I can do whatever I want now. No, that's not okay. That's not how this works. Like you if you're ever adapting someone's media or like story, you have to do it perfect, right? Like there are some cases where that works and it's accidental. Starship Troopers, the 1990 Starship Troopers, was an accidental success. It wasn't meant to be accurate or faithful. In fact, it spits on Heinlein's work in several cases by ascribing fascism to it and other things, which is just not related to the book at all. But it accidentally created another piece of media because of the own hubris and arrogance of the actual people working on it, right? And so that worked out there. But the issue is that, like we see with Dune, right? Because you guys saw the Frank Herbert's well, not Frank Herbert, but Frank Herbert's Dune was adapted into a movie again recently, and while it was pretty good in a lot of areas, you can see where that respect begins to wane. Great example, Chani's character. Chani is loving and supporting of Paul, and in the movies, or in the new movie, she is for certain scenes, but then she randomly isn't, and that's because the writers of the movie were like, we wanted Chani to portray and represent every aspect of Fremen society, both the ones that liked and didn't like. And the issue with that is that that's disrespectful. Firstly, it fundamentally misunderstands what Chani's character is, and instead uses her as a device to espouse like several points of plot because the writers aren't competent enough to handle that. It's like, okay, how do we show the Fremen like not trusting Paul and not liking what he's doing and finding what he's doing hypocritical or whatever? Well, we have Chani do it. Well, the issue with that is that that's not her. She was always supporting and backing him. She was the bedrock that Paul had that kept him stable for all the hard things he had to do. And so by breaking that, the entire thing falls apart. That's one of the big issues, right? And so I think that's one of the things that we have to basically acknowledge. Like when we want to be accurate or faithful to things, we need to actually make that thing as faithful as possible, which means capturing the ideas and philosophy of the writer, because it does fictitious media have contemporary politics in it sometimes, in certain pieces of media, because you have to go by case, right? In the case of Lord of the Rings, it was affected by the contemporary. What was the contemporary of the era? We all know. World War II. It was the build-up for World War II. The Nazgul, the Nancy Ghouls, whatever. Like, there was a little bit of it because the stress and tension of that era bled into his work. And that's true. But it was the stress and tension of 1930 to 1940. It wasn't the stress and tension of 2020 or 2010. It's a very different era. And so you have to understand that era in order to capture that spirit, And the issue is with Rings of Power, they don't care. They want to subvert your expectations and do modern stuff. Like, actually, we think orcs are bad, but they actually have babies and families. And it's like, well, that's physically impossible because they're tortured elves of, like, literally basically from hell, from Morgoth, which is like the bad god. And like, they're not actually...
He's not even a god. He's just the Satan figure of the world.
Yeah, and the only time there's ever been procreating, and like there is procreating among the orcs, but it's like, it's fucked up. It's like the Uruk-hai are melded with men. Like, it's fucking wrong. It's twisted. It's perverted. And the whole purpose of it is that the orcs represent and the Uruk-hai represent evil. They're not meant to be redeemable. They are irredeemably evil. There is nothing redeemable about the orcs. In the same vein that Frodo wanted to see Gollum have some form of redemption, even though so that he could save himself, in the book, again, Gollum is irredeemable. He's too far gone. He's fallen too much. He's been corrupted by the ring. He cannot be saved. And that's the message. Like, once it's gone too far, it's like, it's evil. It's unsalvageable. It's corrupted. It must be purged. It must be destroyed. And you have to understand that concept. The issue is they don't. Hence why you get the Rings of Power, where it's very contrasting with the overall messaging of Lord of the Rings, because it's like, well, actually, the guy who committed horrific acts and killed people, it's actually, not the worst guy ever. And it's like, no, that doesn't work that way. That doesn't work that way. Like, he's irredeemable evil. Don't give me this whole Sauron and fucking Galadriel actually had a romance thing. That's fucking hyper cringe. That's hyper cringe. It's really fucking lame is what it is. But yeah. Again, fundamental misunderstanding of the actual writer's intent and a lack of respect for the work that came thereafter. Or, well, not thereafter, before. The work that came thereafter was reflective of the lack of respect. But yeah. All right, let's see. So, any other comments about the Lord of the Rings thing? Do you guys... I hate this fucking website. What do you guys think? Do you think the new Lord of the Rings prequel movie is going to be okay?
Everything is going to be about
I don't think there's any
Samwise
hope for it
Gamgee's
already, but
Yeah, what's going to be...
Samwise Gamgee's daughter, the series.
Wait,
It's
this
all gonna be
is
about her.
This is the Hunt for Gollum. This can't be. She's not even born yet.
Is it?
Yeah, there's actually two Lord of the Rings. There's the Lord of the Rings
It's a prequel,
sequels.
yeah.
This is the prequel. This is for the Gollum one. There are two things in development. Just like, for example, there's a Lord of the Rings video game allegedly in developed by Kingdom Come Deliverance devs of Warhorse Studios, and there's allegedly two unknown Lord of the Rings games also in development in tandem with that. We know nothing about. There's a huge movement for the Lord of the Rings IP right now. And whether those movements are going to be fun surprises or surprises of a different nature, we're going to find out soon, aren't we?
Ooh.
I'm all for more good Lord of the Rings media. But the issue is I'm questioning whether or not these people can actually handle it. Now, we know that the Amazon guys fucking can't. They're fucking retarded. And so Rings of Power is a lost cause. The question is the Hunt for Gollum series a lost cause as well, as it's being done by different people? Because it is different people.
Gollum, by the way?
So basically it's about the story in between Lord of the Rings or the Fellowship of the Ring, right? Because technically Aragorn and a bunch of other people went out to hunt Gollum and they captured him, and it was basically a huge chase, and then Gollum eventually escaped from the elves' captivity, and then that's when Mordor got him, I think, right?
Fully captured by the Orky Borkies. So
yep, and then the Orky Borkies. Yeah, because it's like a race between both sides because they're both trying to get him. It's a point in the lore that actually does happen. It would be really cool to see this, actually. I think it would be really interesting to explore this. Because you get a lot more Aragorn in it, too. But the issue is that can they pull it off? You know, I have my
The
doubts.
answer's no.
I have my doubts.
The answer's no, kids.
I know. I just wish they could. You know, it's like I really wish it would be good. I would love it to be good.
Expect the worst. Be pleasantly surprised if it's not.
Yes,
Terrible.
that I think you have the right mindset here. Like, expect the worst. If it turns out great and we're wrong, fuck yes. But
That's like
let's not hold our breath.
expecting Disney to churn out a good kids movie.
Oh no! Don't say that. It's so horrible. I like to think that this has a higher chance of of a freak success than Disney does. You know?
Look, I think it's what is it, Pixar or whoever created what's it, K-pop Demon Hunters or whatever the fuck it's called. You know what? Scratch
I
that.
don't
There's a
know.
better one. There's a fucking Mario movie that just came out.
Oh yeah, that did come out. I didn't
And
even.
you know what it didn't have in it?
What?
Any gay shit.
Well, yeah, the Japanese Nintendo's involved. The one thing is,
Andy-
while we criticize Nintendo, the one thing I will say is Nintendo is very adamant about them not doing anything really queer with their stuff. So that's the good thing. They cockblocked them.
And you know what the great thing is, Gibbs?
What?
You know how so many people draw fan art of Peach and Rosalina doing things together?
Yeah.
Yeah. That movie made it official that they're sisters.
I mean,
Oh my
I
god,
can.
incest you.
Yeah, that's gonna. All right. That's gonna make it better for some and worse for others, and I honestly don't care. Honestly,
Yeah,
Sweet
it's
whole
really
Mushroom
funny.
Kingdom.
they're more than just sisters, yeah.
Because it doesn't make sense because Rosalina, it's more of a time travel thing, in that Peach was supposed to have married or had a child with Luigi, and that was supposed to be Rosalina, but that apparently doesn't happen. The Mario movie just fucking erased all that and said they're sisters.
Huh.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the equivalent of playing Resident Evil 9 Requiem and being like, Raccoon City was actually bombed by thermobarics. It's like, what? Looks back at the original game, thermonuclear bombs. It's like, what? What do you mean thermobarics? They use nukes. The cutscene literally
It's
shows an
literally
atomic
radiation.
blast. And like they talk about how there's like a radiated zone around Raccoon City, but then you look at the new game and then you're walking around it and it's like, yeah, it was just a thermobaric missile. It's like, what kind of thermobaric missile knocks over like entire skyscrapers and makes like half of this area a desert? Like, that's one hell of a thermobaric. That's like a dozen of them or something.
A thermobaric that's a nuke. Like, no, okay.
Don't worry about it. They didn't use nukes on Raccoon City. Yeah, because that's another retcon. Like, retcons are happening all over the place with a lot of these media. Like, media that's old, like Resident Evil or Mario, right? They've been around for a long time. And so when they make new media, they have to add new stories. And so they're like, it's actually, the whole Raccoon City outbreak wasn't because of the G virus. It's actually because this girl named Grace. Yep, and also Spencer, who is kind of a sadistic maniac who ranted about how he wanted to become an immortal god, pretty much, and that's why he was researching these viruses. Actually, he felt bad about what he did and was actually trying to redeem himself. It's like, but his last words was about becoming immortal. He didn't seem like he was wanting to redeem himself at all.
I think you're just not understanding that he was misunderstood all this time, kid.
It's interesting to me because it's like, it's not just one piece of media, it's anything from that era, right? Like Resident Evil, Mario, or even like Halo, like we have now, right? It's these media has gone on for so long that they kind of like lost the plot, right? Same goes for World of Warcraft. Look at that shit show, right? Like, what the fuck is happening in that world? It's like they don't even know. Like, I don't know.
Magic wheelchairs are the only thing that matters to me.
Magic wheelchairs and pride parades. It's like, okay. Okay. Alrighty then. We have cancer. All right.
Only a little bit. You're gonna have more.
Whatever. Either way. But
The
yeah.
Chefs are just saying hi to each other.
They pet each other. That's what Chaffish do. We train them well. Hey, thanks, Kib. We like being trained. So here we have something quite cursed, but rather revealing. threatened retaliation on first contact. As I dig into a former Halo art director's claims, I'm left questioning what else Microsoft didn't want anyone to see. New allegations from a former Halo Studios developer, aka 343, claims of misconduct and organizational issues, prompting questions around accountability and internal investigations at Microsoft. So the Halo thing is unraveling before our very eyes today, chat. So we're going to read some of the posts. This is from one of the key personnel from 343 Halo Industries who left. Their name is Glenn Israel. And so we're going to read what he wrote about. So he wrote in a post 1 of 2. Under the revised code of Washington Title 49, Chapter 44, Section 211, I allege the following. That between January 2024 and June 2025, I witnessed firsthand or was personally subjected to numerous unethical and or unlawful acts committed by senior Halo Studios representatives, including but not limited.
X on the right side of the screen, kids.
You want me to get rid of that? It's triggering you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all white. You little white supremacist, you. But not limited to blacklisting, fraud, rampant favoritism, cronyism, manifesting as hiring and career growth interference, and multiple harassment campaigns designed to provoke the constructive discharge of unwanted employees, otherwise in good standing. This is huge, by the way, like fucking Titanic. That after filing several documented complaints with Microsoft's Human Resources Department in June 2025, a senior global employee relations GR representative threatened retaliation on first contact and promised to quash any further investigation. Holy shit. Holy shit.
First.
Atomic bomb just dropped, Chat Fishies. That senior Halo Studios representative engaged in a 4-day-long act of harassment intended to manufacture a cause for my termination in July 2025, that the aforementioned GER representative and supervisor and Microsoft's Business Conduct and Compliance BRI department were provided daily visibility and failed to take appropriate disruptive action during that act, nor punitive action afterwards, meaning that they were complicit in allowing this happening, by the way. Fucking holy shit. The rot goes deep, boys. It goes deep. The complaints escalated to BRI and Microsoft's Workplace Investigation Team, WIT, were reported closed by the aforementioned GER representative when in fact they had been returned as out of scope. That in August 2025, the catastrophic mismanagement of Halo Campaign Evolved created an opportunity for senior Halo Studios representatives to temporarily reassign the art team from my unannounced project and falsely characterize my role as redundant, a plainly retaliatory act. That in September 2025, a GER director promised to have this retaliation investigation and then disallowed any consideration of the original complaints, subsequent harassment, or actions taken by the GER representative. That between June and October 2025, GER, BRI, and WIT failed to carry out even the most cursory investigation by refusing to interview primary witnesses cited in the original complaints. That between September and November 2025 openly violated RCW 49.12.250 and has since made no attempt to meet penalty obligations. Holy fucking shit, Chatfish. Oh my god. This person, by the way, this Glenn Israel fella, apparently when he left said that he couldn't talk about it probably because of legal things, right? And that he would talk about it later and sometime late 2025. Well, here we are, early 2026, and it looks like the bell has finally come. It has tolled, Chatfishes. And holy shit. This is fucking monumental. Now for post 2 of 2. Given the number of people who have contacted me privately since my original post last October, I also strongly suspect the following. That Microsoft routinely contrives or otherwise exploits layoffs to rid itself of employees who have filed proper and effective complaints, thereby making these retaliatory acts with a thin veneer of business justification. That organization and investigations within Microsoft Human Resources umbrella are deliberately compartmentalized to obfuscate responsibility and create plausible deniability. Holy shit. Those of you who also share or can substantiate these suspicions, please feel free to contact me privately as well. I know that our industry is in truly dire straits now, but as a matter of public interest, I cannot in good conscience recommend seeking employment at this organization or continuing there if you have any other option. Your efforts and expertise are not respected. You are not fairly compensated if you refuse to engage in political gamesmanship. Your career will stall. If you object, you will be forced out. I have the evidence. You are not safe. Followed by another post from another industry professional. I can definitely substantiate these suspicions. Happy to send you all the material. Holy shit. It's finally coming. 343's time to burn has finally come, Chatfish. They may rebrand to Halo Studios. We all knew they were rancid. Every one of you knew. Not a single soul fucking had faith in them. And turns out, we were all right, chat. They're rancid, rotten to their fucking core. Oh my god. We knew this from the people that we knew that worked there. And now the world knows for sure. So whether or not this means anything's going to come of this, who knows? But does it surprise you that they have all these different things that he had to reach out to, only for them to have just well, it's not in our scope, it's not in our thing, we don't really cover this, you have to go to this group, so that you keep getting passed around until they can dispose of you. Holy shit. I feel like this is begging for a lawsuit, and probably a ton of people are going to pile in on this. Whether or not this can finally kill that fucking rotten thing, who knows? But oh my god. So what do you make of this, Bucky and Kitten?
Go ahead, kitten.
I figured that would always be the case. Microsoft is just an awful corporation altogether.
I know, but this is, I mean, okay, I know Microsoft's awful. We all know that, right? That's not particularly revelation wise. But how rotten this is, the toxicity of this is oh my god. This guy, this poor fucker, right, had a disagreement with the direction of the game and wanted to probably push for better quality. But because it was a political or, gamesmanship, as he used the words. Go ahead.
The term office politics usually refers to whether or not you kiss someone's ass. That's what it means.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, that's the big thing here is that this has gotten so rancid that literally when he reached out to other organizations within the corporation that are meant to, on paper, prevent this from happening, not just stood by and did nothing, but quietly enabled it. That is a whole other mess. It's basically, I don't know how to put this. It fundamentally finally removes the final straw that they were standing on, that people kept defending the upcoming Halo remaster, right? Because now it's proven. Now it's we have the visual evidence that it's bad. We have the theories about why it's bad, but now we have the actual vindicated proof about why. Internally, it's a fucking shit show. Just because, again, they didn't restructure, right? 343 was rotten to its core too, by the way. And 343 is no different than Halo Studios. The only difference between them is the name, right? Because when they rebranded 343 Studios is because it got so ugly that they had to rebrand it to try to shake off the ugliness that everybody knew. 343 is synonymous with trash, just like Halo Studios is synonymous with 343. And it's proof that Halo Studios isn't different, that 343 never died, that the same leadership failings of the previous iteration of that, iteration as if it changed, but the alleged iteration, right, is that it's still rotten to its fucking core. Absolutely. Now,
Kids, I like how you think that it's just the studio's problem and not a Microsoft-wide issue.
No. See, my focus right now is on Halo. This also explains pretty much everything else with Microsoft. This explains every other studio's problems, like Hi-Fi Rush getting nuked, despite being successful, being sabotaged by Microsoft themselves, and despite being successful and doing well, rather than axing that game, they choose to promote and keep DEI companies inside of them alive, right? Which we're going to talk about State of Decay 3 here in a minute. State of Decay 3, by the way, is another Microsoft property that has been in development hell for what feels like forever, just like Fable, right? And rather than pulling the plug on these things that are just not going anywhere, they pull the plug on Hi-Fi Rush, right? Rather than pulling the plug on Fable, which hasn't gone anywhere, they pull the plug on Hi-Fi Rush, which is doing something. It's succeeding. Now, granted, it got its plug pulled like years ago. But again, this all corroborates that. How they treated Ensemble Studios, everything we learned about that. It's all connected. They are one of the worst corporations in existence and need to be disbanded. Like, they need to be destroyed. Like, somebody...
Microsoft is too large to be disbanded, kids. You know that.
And yeah, but the federal government needs to come in and break them. Like, it's time for the feds to do their job.
Well, the federal government relies on that too much.
Kill them. Kill them.
That's the issue, is that
I
the
know.
U.S. government relies on.
It's time for the federal government to step in and kill Microsoft. Finally.
They're never going to.
I know, but it's what needs to be done. Like, if we needed
Like,
any
I
more
know.
proof that they're rotten to the core, corrupt as sin, like, it's just like it extenuates in every angle. Like, it's been in since 2007 with, like, or was it 2008 or 9 or whatever with Halo Wars. The Ensemble Studios thing was my first, like, eye opener there for me as, like, a little guy. I was like, what the fuck? But this company did well. They made Age of Empires. Yeah, well, but guess what? They weren't directly controlled, and therefore they're a problem and a threat. They had a golden goose like Bungie. Why did they lose Bungie? Why did Bungie want to leave? Because they couldn't control them directly. They had to get rid of them. They had to get rid of Bungie. They had to get rid of Ensemble Studios. They had to get rid of the Hi-Fi Rush studio. They had to get rid of anyone that stood in their way. And not just there, but in anywhere else. The people in 343, well, there's some, unfortunately, people that don't go along with our politics. We need to find a way to dispose of them. I know. Let's harass the shit out of them and abuse our own structure to basically make it so that they can't cry for help, and basically use laws, and or not laws, but the contracts they signed to muzzle them so they can't cry for help or blow the whistle. Now Glenn Israel, his time has come. He's blown the whistle. It's now time for action. It's now time for Microsoft to pay for its sins. Justice needs to be delivered, not just to Halo Studios, but to Microsoft as a whole. It's time for more people to blow the whistle so that this fucking rancid-ass corporation can be gutted like a fish. It's just so sickening. These little shits have been going on for ages, and we all know they're rotten. We all know it. Everyone here knows it. No one's going to contest that. They're rotten to their fucking core. We know people who worked for them. I met them. They are fucking terrible, like what they do to these people. It's like a ship with 1,000 leaks. Like, eventually you think one sprung leak might get the attention of the captain, you know? But no, it never does. Oh, isn't it agitating, Chatfish? This turns normal layoffs into unlawful dismissal. They will be sued. Yeah, they should be sued.
So here's the issue, right, Kibbs? I don't know if you actually covered this because I don't really pay attention to what you're saying. Microsoft is caught between two different forces. You have the DEI hiring forces that are trying to oust everybody if they're not ideologically bent.
The Glenn here.
Yep. And then you have the Bajit forces trying to fire all of the Americans and then hire on in Indians and or offshore everything to India.
It's an internal war in Microsoft, yeah. Because the Indians are... So, yeah. What Bucky mentioned is absolutely true. Because we haven't even talked about that yet. The Indians are trying to infiltrate, and from India, specifically, are trying to infiltrate Microsoft and basically suck Microsoft's resources and tech away from America, and as basically a global move. This is an act of war, by the way. Because they're attacking one of our companies. Microsoft is a United States corporation. Their technology is our technology. And India is trying to steal that. They're trying to steal those resources in the same way that Shanghai tried to steal our gaming industry. This happened before. Like, other countries try to do this every once in a while. So it's one of those cases where the United States government needs to step in. That's why I'm advocating for that. Because, like, at some point, there's so much crap going on. Well, I normally don't like the feds getting involved with stuff. Like this is the place. This is the time. This is when the feds need to do their job, in my opinion. And this is my opinion. I know some people might not agree with it, but it's time for the feds to step in and stop the Indians from stealing our jobs and our corporations. And it's time for them to also root out all the corruption in that company and rip it out. Because it's genuinely just awful. It's already infiltrated. Yeah, I know it's already infiltrated. The issue is we need to do something about it. Something has to be done about this. Something must be done, is what I'm trying to advocate for here. Because we need something done. Microsoft cannot be allowed to do this to their employees. They're Americans, they're hard workers, and they deserve better. This is unlawful. And not only
I
that...
think
Go ahead.
the government needs to do DPA,
Yeah, what's that?
the Defense Production Act. They take control over how business operate.
Yeah, I think they should in this case. It's a part of our...
What they should do
Yeah.
is remove the CEO, initiate a government action to put in a board of directors with the government being in holding in a trust or whatever
Like as
position.
a supervisor role of it.
Yeah, and then force the Microsoft to start doing in-person hiring and recording the in-person hiring validation to cut out fake candidates, and then denying all H-1B visas.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Microsoft.
Absolutely. We need that. And I don't know why the feds haven't done their job yet.
Because they're benefiting from it.
They're too
'cause
busy squeezing the little guy.
The usual
They're
case that they're already benefiting from that system. They don't want to remove it immediately.
Microsoft is having a huge fucking problem with its email servers being run by these corporations that are hiring foreigners into CEO positions, because their secure email side is being ran by foreigners.
Oh my god, help me. Oh my god, help. It means there's... Yeah. Like, Microsoft is in such a fucking really rancid state. Like, something has to be done. I am not a big fan of federal intervention usually, especially in the entertainment sector. But in the case of Microsoft, Microsoft is not really just entertainment sector. They also produce our software and operating systems. And if they're compromised, our operating systems and our military's operating systems operate off of Microsoft like software. That means it's a security vulnerability for our boys and girls in the field, which is not okay either.
No, it's like the call centers, right, Gibbs?
Mm.
So like network administrators, network architects, and stuff like that. If those call centers are centered in, I don't know, Punjab, India, and making like fucking $20 let's just say every week or something, and then some guy comes in and offers $1,000 for access codes, like passwords and stuff, to access the network admin side, and then download the entire fucking server. And then boom, there you go. Old Punjab guy didn't lose anything. He's set for fucking an entire year of pay. He can just go somebody else and then get hired under a different name.
Yep.
With no actual downsides.
And nothing actually changes.
And that's how
issue.
That's how so many of these IT companies have been getting fucked by Indian hires.
It's not just IT; it's happening in blue collar as well.
Yeah, this is like the
Also,
one time I'm advocating for the feds to do something. Like, come on, God.
They're not going to, because it's a huge industry over in India. They pay off any political side to
Yeah,
take
but
them.
well, that's fine that they're not going to. I'm still going to insist that something be done. Something must be done.
Yeah.
People
Also,
in charge benefit from the system, so they're not going to change it. It's just the unfortunate reality.
One of the best ones is the Elon Musk situation. If you know about that, Gibbs, where
go ahead.
Elon Musk had hired a bunch of Indians to do his Grok AI shit.
Oh boy!
One of the Indians downloaded the entire Grok data code, all the way down to like the kernel level and everything. Quit and got hired onto, I think, OpenAI or whatever, stealing the entire Grok code.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, frankly, someone like Elon Musk deserves it after what he said about Americans, so that's fine.
Yep. All right, I gotta go.
Take care,
Catch you later.
Bucky.
Yep.
Remember, he's Australian. Not Australian, South African.
He's
South
not
African.
really American. He's another one of those
He's not.
vultures in our country, chat.
He is.
I'm becoming of the opinion where I'm becoming incredibly xenophobic as time goes on.
It's not being xenophobic. It's the idea that like you have to import your labor is just not a thing we have to do anymore.
They
We are
must
of a
be
sufficient size of a
American.
country. We can train it and cultivate it at home.
But the only people I want, and I want to abduct, are my dev
It's
team
cheaper
members that
when
are
we
foreigners.
hire the people who live in poo.
Kibbs is against third worlders coming into the country, except for his dev team members.
My dev
Look.
team members are honorary Americans.
Except for Indio, he doesn't like it.
Yeah, except for Indio. Indio's just a slave, honestly. He's just a slave. We're not
Dino
gonna give
will
him any of the
like
hard
cream his
stuff.
pants if he gets to come to America.
Yes. The thing is, Indio, he just has to be locked in a dungeon. Stockholm Syndrome will set in eventually.
I think Indio just likes where he's at, is all.
He does, but we need to change that by destroying his life. So we're working on that. Like,
So we destroy his life.
It's like, oh my god, are we the bad guys? It says the catfish. Looking at another catfish.
Are we the chat guys?
Bino is too brown. True.
True.
Indio's whiter than he is, so I guess Indio can pass.
Venus is the brownest man I know, which is how it is, unfortunately.
It's so funny because Indio's brown. But yeah, jokes aside, this whole thing has been incredibly infuriating to read. Most because I feel really bad for this poor Glenn fella, and also just like the fact that it's at that rancid. Like I've got a friend that worked on Halo Infinite that told me pretty much everything that happened behind the scenes. That I'm not going to say any more than that. And like the stories and the stuff I learned was really eye-opening. And the thing is, it's not just like an isolated case, like, oh, it was just there. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. And Glenn is right. The industry is in dire straits. He's absolutely right. And it's incredibly imperative that something be done to rectify this. Because it's not just the games industry. It technically is a little bit more here with Microsoft. Because this permeates every fucking facet of Microsoft. Like that, Microsoft is just a rancid tumor. I find it funny when Microsoft and Sony beat the shit out of each other because it's just funny for us because they're both losing and we're just laughing. But the benefit is not from that, is that we could have a great Halo game. There are people that worked inside 343 and Halo, quote unquote, Halo Studios that want to give us the thing we want. They're just being fucking shoved out the door because they're not touting the party line. And so it's incredibly heartbreaking because the reason why we're not getting good Halo games isn't because they can't make them. It's because they don't want to make them is the issue. They want to hijack it. They want to subvert it. They want to destroy it, corrupt it, and do all these things. It's like, there's no reason. I know this too from Activision Blizzard because they're now Microsoft property too. They suffer from the same problems. And you know what's funny is knowing people that work for Blizzard is like, it's the same shit you hear from Microsoft. It's the same fucking shit. The same backstabbery, the same office politics, the same nightmarish shit going on behind the scenes is going on what seems like in almost every major AAA studio. It's not that AAA can't produce good things. It's that they're not allowed to produce good things. Hence why we get slop and shit all the time from AAA. There's odd cases where we do get something good, like we did with Hi-Fi Rush, where it was randomly something that people really enjoyed and liked. It wasn't my cup of tea, but people really liked that game, and that was great. They deserved to get more. They deserved to be successful, but they got axed. And why did they get axed? Because they didn't tout the party line, because they weren't controlled enough. Just like Ensemble Studios, just like Bungie, just like everybody else, just like Blizzard. It all happened to everybody. It's not that these companies can't produce good things, it's that they're not allowed to. And eventually, over time, anybody that could have produced anything good at these companies, one by one, will be ousted. Two things are going to happen. They'll be ousted like they were with Glenn, or they're going to be like some of my friends, who are just heads down, don't look up, just do your job, pay the bills, feed your family. Because God forbid you speak up, you get this, what happened to Glenn here. God forbid you try to fight back. God forbid you try to argue for like good quality. You know, It's why Martin
What do you-
O'Donnell
what
left the
kind of
industry and other
asshole
people.
Barrett?
Why would you do
Oh,
that?
it just makes me sad because what this makes me sad with Mamu is because like we could have a Halo game that could be maybe it wouldn't even be good, but at least it would try. But we're not getting that.
I don't think we'll ever get a good Halo game again.
We physically
Uh,
can't.
That IP is, frankly, you're better off just treating it as a dead IP and moving on, just like with Star Trek, Star Wars,
I mean, that's true.
Best you're gonna get is a good
Lord of the
fan game.
Rings, all of
Warcraft,
these.
all of it,
These
Diablo.
are just dead IPs. Enjoy the good parts of them, but ignore what comes out after.
Yep.
Sound like a good fan game, and that's like, oh yay! And they'll
All
get
we can
canceled
really
because
do
Microsoft wants this money around.
is merely amplify the signal of his whistle posts. That's it. It's up to actual people with authoritative power to actually do anything about this. Whether they will or not, we'll find out in the coming weeks. But my guess is the only thing that's going to really come of this, if I had to be sadly honest and less hopeful, is probably a lawsuit. And they'll get their money, and that'll be it. And then the same shit that's happening there now will continue, and nothing will change for the better.
Yep. Unfortunately, that's the reality with a lot of these modern developers and mega corporations. They don't actually care about any pushback or any of that nature. All they care about is whether or not they can milk these IPs for all they're worth.
Yep, they got caught. They'll pay their dues, and then they'll go back to doing what they were doing. But my hope is, though, by amplifying Glenn's post here, is that more people with high skill in the industry will see that this is as bad as it is, and then not make the mistake that Glenn did in working here, and will go somewhere else or try something more ambitious and starting something. And it might fail, it might not work out, but if we get more industry successes, because whether you agree with me or not, Expedition 33 wasn't my kind of game, but it was an example of industry success. Well, it was technically not supported by Ubisoft or large AAA publishers. It's an example that AAA publishers, or AAA developers, not publishers, sorry, do have the capability to make things people want, can produce things people want. And we need to hope that more games like that come out, because if more AAAs just simply jump ship and create their own thing and learn from this lesson, then we can ultimately see at least some new IPs, some new games that are actually worthwhile. That's all we can hope for, really. I don't think Microsoft is salvageable. As much as I would like the feds to clamp down and actually gut the damn thing, but they're not going to do it.
They're not going to.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what political leanings, both get major payoffs from India to a mass import. Well,
Yep.
I can't say the word because Yubnub.
Well, we know it's India. We know the Indians are a problem with the industry. We know they are stealing our jobs. We also know they are stealing our companies and our technologies. Like, we know that. It's not a secret. It's out in the open. It's happening right now. It's just nothing we could do about it.
I think in regards to the AAA devs, you're already seeing this quite a bit of AAA devs moving down to either, like you said, starting their own projects or going AA. Because like the amount of amazing AA and indie games that have been coming out is astonishing.
It's mind-boggling. It's because it's basically like the great flight, right? People in the industry are finally realizing that there is hope. There is something. We can just leave. We can go just show the world our ideas because of social media and networking and the internet now. And now we have a chance. It doesn't guarantee it, mind you, but it means now they have a chance versus before they had no chance in the olden days. Because the olden days, you had to suck off who was ever in charge and then hope you get your time in the sun. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to be a little, I hate to say it, but bitch. You don't have to be the little bitch and tout the line. There are possibilities and opportunities now, thanks to Hooded Horse, as like AA publishers, for example, that are opening the door for a lot more developers, or Slytherin or other companies like them. They open the door because they're alternatives to these megacorps. They're still corporations, but they're actually not as corrupted because there's not that much money in them to begin with. Now, bear in mind, as time goes on, much like we saw with CD Projekt Red, they too weren't corrupted in the beginning, but they are now. It happens when the money starts to seep in. It's why hopefully these companies will learn the lesson real quickly. Stay privately owned. Don't open to the public.
I think the ones where people have come from larger projects and experienced that will probably learn that lesson. But you're always going to have people who have the naivete of, well, maybe it was just that one time.
Yeah, it was one
and
time.
don't understand that it's it's an ideological, a spiritual war, if you will.
It will be forever. It's going to happen. It seeps into every company or organization, right? Fucking, completely different sector of industry. Kentucky Fried Chicken, KFC. Colonel Sanders, the actual owner and creator, watched as his thing he made was warped and twisted in front of him. It happens. He was so disgusted and appalled. I remember reading things where he would go in, sit, and be like, this shit's garbage. You guys removed all the seasonings. There's only a couple things here. And so it's it happens. In every sector. It's not just entertainment. It's also food industry. It's everywhere. It's not a localized issue. It's a global issue. Let's see. My mouse died. Hold on. Frederick says, but Kibbs, they need that money for coke and bitches. Yeah, well, I guess what? I think I'd rather them be homeless and on the streets, honestly, because they're not doing anything useful, are they? They're not trying.
Then they can get fentanyl and bitches still.
Yeah, they'll just get different quality fentanyl and bitches.
Yeah.
Maybe not a day trader
that
maybe not.
Told me that the day traders doing coke, it's about 50-50. Half of them do coke, the other half do other things to stay jazzed up.
Yeah, because one thing I did learn, because Billy Donuts says KFC does not follow the original recipe. Yeah, I tried using the recipe discovered by the brother, or one of the brothers, that basically came out, and was thoroughly surprised that I made it myself, and I was like, oh, this actually tastes better than KFC. It's actually much, much more flavorful. The seasonings are really good and complementary, the herbs and spices. And I was like, wow, this is great. I've actually addicted to it. I keep having the urge to make more, but fried chicken is not good for you. So it's like a willpower test to not make more, once you know how.
Good fried chicken is like crack cocaine.
Yeah, it is. That's why my deep fryer, as soon as my time with this oil is done, it's time to put it back in the shelf, because oh my god, it's a thing you just really, it's fun to cook with, and that's dangerous. That's genuinely dangerous. It's more fun to cook than I think I've ever cooked with anything. Was a fryer. Fryers are so much fun because you can do so much, and breading things
deep
is
fryers,
just fun.
yeah.
Like throwing ice in them.
It also depends on the I don't know about that. That's some diabetic shit right there.
Yeah.
But when it comes to deep fried chicken, not to tangent too much, it also depends on what you use for the batter, right?
Yep, the batter's a big role. How you make it plays a great role.
American problems. Well, look, someone has to have taste and be able to make food.
Yeah, so American problems. Having food, I know, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Europe has no food culture.
They're just sitting there starving, ooh.
It's okay. Maybe in another century, you guys will get it.
Once your agriculture advances to, a modern civilization.
Their agriculture advances, looks at it. I see.
Curious.
It got staler.
They're playing Sid Meier's Civilization the wrong way. They'll just keep investing in the wrong ideologies. They're researches. Their agriculture is still fucking. They haven't figured out crop rotation yet. They don't have windmills unlocked.
Damn.
We use the water wheel. It's okay.
You didn't have to murder them like that.
Okay. But yeah. So yeah, the Glenn Israel thing is a huge deal. It's the big thing here is that this whistleblow is going to have a huge impact, I think, on the industry, but it's not going to have as big of an impact as it really should. It is huge though. And I think the industry is going to try to blow past this or ignore this as best it can, because it basically reveals the rot, because it's coming from actual professionals in the industry, finally not afraid to blow the whistle. And yeah, they threaten people. Yeah, they blackmail people. They blackmail developers in 343. Yeah, they do that kind of stuff. Not only do they blackmail people, but they also try to keep you from ever talking about anything. Finally, somebody had enough here, and this guy decided to actually speak up. And that's a good thing. So good on him for doing the right thing and blowing the whistle. I just hope that other people blow the whistle too, and that we can really unravel how much ranted shit, because we can already see that one person here is also joining in the whistleblowing, which is good. And apparently more people are signing off on, like, or not signing off, but joining in, revealing the horrible stuff that's happening behind the scenes. So the more people that expose this, the sooner other people in the industry can at least hear this news and make right decisions and not work for these fucking assholes. Save them time, save them hassle, save their ideas so they don't get corrupted. So we can see more independent projects like we did with, because like the last Green Light Summit. No, that's not the Green Light Summit. What was it called? The Steam Fest. Last Steam Fest had some great industry indies in there. Like a lot of ones that came from the AAA industry, but they had explicitly been developers who left. Like the Blizzard guys who made Diablo finally got around to trying a hand at another game since they've done Torchlight, because they lost Torchlight. Hopefully you learned your lesson this time. Don't open up to public, because that's why Torchlight was lost in the end as well. So they're trying again with that something about Ashes or something. Darkhaven, that's the name. And Darkhaven's going forward, so they're going to start cooking with that one. Darkhaven looks like it's got a lot of promise for action RPGs with some fresh ideas. And stay private, for the love of God. Don't fucking do it. Don't open up to the public. Don't let those worms and rats in.
We've decided to open up to the public.
Oh no, all of a sudden a bunch of people are coming in and want us to add LGBT flags and not focus on game design at all.
Look, obviously the rainbow representation is integral to game mechanics.
Somehow the rainbows have returned.
Somehow, unexpectedly.
We opened up our company to the public, and all of a sudden we have ideologues now, demanding we have certain things. Not enough black characters, not enough trans characters, random pride flags.
It's so common to see fucking someone like e-begging the developers for Helldivers to add like a rainbow.
Well, yeah, but that was back when people were farming.
Yeah,
what you call it?
I'm talking about like
clown.
in Steam forums, not
Yeah,
even
that's when people were farming clown medals.
Yeah, you could actually farm a lot of clown medals.
No, you can't anymore.
As an exploit. I mean,
they removed it.
The clown medal's gone.
Yeah, because it was causing like issues where people were just like brigading.
That's honestly probably for the best, because it
so
just
Valve removed it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things, like, it's just one of those things, chat, where we can't really do anything about it. All we can do is merely talk about it, and you can talk about it, and try to signal boost just this story as much as you can. Like what Glenn said here, to as many people as possible. Just talk about it, because getting people talking about it will spread this information and will prevent them from covering it up, much like Microslop is already probably trying to do. Like, they're not going to be talking about this at all. So that's why we're never going to let this go. We're going to bite into it and hang on. That's what Bubbles always says. Never let go. Keep those teeth sunk in. Keep those teeth. Like a rabid dog.
But, I mean, it is good that this is coming out. The pessimist in me thinks it probably won't change. But we'll see. Like, I can't predict the future.
It won't probably change Microsoft. But it will affect the industry and will have positive changes. It's just the positive changes are more subtle.
Hopefully, the people who are actually skilled and passionate move to other companies and don't waste their time.
Yep, because if they waste their time on this, that's like 4 or 5, maybe 6 years that they could have been producing something worthwhile. Now that they won't be doing anything, they'll be stunted. It's like the Astartes guy, right? When he went to work for Games Workshop. Like he
was threatened. So.
Yeah, he was threatened. That's true. But had he just dropped Astartes and moved on, or not Astartes, yeah, dropped Astartes, drop 40K slop, just leave 40K. Had he just abandoned Warhammer 40K, he would be in a better position earlier. Fortunately, he's doing all right because he's getting gigs, right? But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, Games Workshop, Warhammer 40K is literally ass. Like, if you like it, that's great, like as a setting or whatever. But I'm talking about like from a developer standpoint, by the way, chat. As a developer, don't work with GW ever. Like, they're just trash. They're a rancid corporation. They're just like Microslop. They're fucking garbage. Rancid people, rotten to their fucking core.
Don't call us that.
Well, it's not my fault they're rotten to their core. Because the issue is that people already blow the whistle when they come from GW, and it always sounds like rancid shit. Just like it does with micro crap. Like, If it sounds bad and sounds like poison and the people that come from there talk about how fucking awful it is, odds are it's probably pretty terrible.
Odds are it's really bad. But
Travis,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate it took this long, but well, like we've all said at this point, hopefully we see something of this. It's just further evidence that Halo Studios is terrible, and rebranding as Halo Studios or Halo Labs or whatever it is they're on now won't matter. People still know they're 343, and people still know the rot is institutional. They've been trying to AstroTurf the absolute shit out of the Halo CE remake, and it's not working.
Yep, they have. The only thing they have that is in their library that isn't terrible is that the B team from 343 put together the Halo remaster, and it's okay. And the worst part about the Halo remaster is it's only okay. It's got netcoding problems up the ass. There's so many issues, and doesn't.
Oh, you mean MCC?
Yeah, the MCC,
the Master Chief.
And it's honestly
Okay.
the best
Your
thing
chef
they have.
collection.
Like, I'll be real. The only thing.
Yeah, the netcode's abysmal though.
Yes, it's fucking trash. Like when I try to, we try to do some Halo events with you guys, like, but Europeans and like Southeast Asians, it's like a crapshoot whether it works or not. And when it works fine, which means that it's honestly down to their shitty net coding, how they have it functioning. They just didn't optimize their shit worth a damn, because randomly it just won't work, which is a terrible shame because Halo MCC, like playing those, I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely miss playing Halo 3 with you boys. It was so much fun, and I do want to try a crack at it again in the future, but like, it is.
I want to
just
try
a
it with that
crapshoot.
spaceship mod.
Yeah, the spaceship mod is cool.
Slipstream or whatever, slipspace.
You know, like space fleet battles. So you say
Mhm.
Slipstream, and I think about the Slipstream engine, then I think about the loss of
Yeah.
institutional knowledge, and I'm just even more sad. Their own proprietary engine is now going to collect dust in a vault somewhere.
I hate that, by the way. I love when people have custom engines because they always do cool shit with them.
I know. It's like the Sage engine. I'm glad EA finally released the source code for the Sage engine. Thank God. At least they did something right.
Miss the good old days of Halo 3 game nights on Xbox Live. I saw a clip the other day of people were amazed that like Halo 3 had at one point over 1 million concurrent players online. I was like, yeah, Halo was a cultural phenomenon. Like, it's hard to explain if you weren't there.
Yeah, it's one of those things like everybody remembers. Like even in my little hometown, like there was a Burger King in a neighboring town, and like everybody wanted to go there to get the Halo cups, and then also go to the, what was the store? I think it was a Walmart in a different town. Yeah, because they had one of those big Walmarts, right? It's like, I don't know. We don't have a lot of those around here, but it's like a huge building with like tons of stuff in it, and they had the fucking gamer fuel in there, and that was a big deal. That was a huge deal because Gamer Fuel was super special, so everybody wanted to go to that store to get the Mountain Dew Gamer Fuel that went along with Halo 3. It was a huge thing. Everybody played it. Man, it's like a different time. I wish I could create a window to that period of memories and just like let people participate in it. Because it was
Cries in third
something
world
different.
poorness that missed off that ripperoni.
I'm sorry, Prime Pepe. It was something so incredible. It's really hard to put into words the experience. Stores were wrapped around. I'd never seen that many people before.
Like, even non-gamers knew what the hell Halo was. That's how fucking big it was at the time.
Yeah, and there was like a military recruitment office that even had Halo posters on it. I remember.
Yes, the U.S. Army actually did this whole mini-series of a real-life Army sniper shows players how to use real-life U.S. Army sniper tactics in Halo 3.
Oh my god, it's wild.
It was so derpy, but it was hilarious at the same time.
And I remember, oh my god, this was before we had the projector in the downstairs room. We had
projector gaming was so good.
We had one of those big, TVs with the AV cables, the big ones where you stand up and it goes to your like head. It's huge. Those things are so cool. I wish I had one now. But yeah, they had this. Oh my god, the TV's amazing. It's just like this huge thing, right? It's like a brick. It's like a giant like box. And I remember the commercial would come on, where the commercial would be about the fucking like Halo Believe trailer, where he'd like look up with a grenade,
so good.
and I'd be like, Dad, the trailer's on. And he'd like walk in and we like fucking like watch it, and like it was so cool. We had a DVR fortunately, so we could just pause it too. But still, it was always great to see it live.
Like that was back in the era of gamers making video games for gamers. It was gamers making games they want to be able to play when they clock out.
Yeah, like they would. Like the big thing is that I remember talking to my programmer boy Robin man about this. Crunch, right? The crunch is quite divisive. Robin was telling me because I was like, oh, I joking about like, oh, don't want to make you crunch to get this game done, and he's like, man, I wish I could, like dedicate more time in crunch because like that's what I want to do, and I'm like,
So
yeah,
crunch is only bad if your project has bad management and doesn't understand that while yes, you are working hard and working long hours, there's a clear goal and your workers are appropriately compensated for said extra hours. The problem in a lot of AAA studios is they weren't doing that.
crunch is we got to meet a deadline before
Yes.
other
Oh yeah,
games
also
shoved out
your
the door.
overtime unpaid, bitch.
Yeah.
Like wow.
I
Okay.
want to work crunch on our game so bad. Not in the deadline sense, but just like binge hours and hours. Like I want to have our office just be stacks of pizza boxes and shit. That'd be so wild.
You want the early id software treatment.
I want that era. I want Battle Damage Studios to experience
One
it.
where they've got like
It's so
10
weird.
CRTs on like shitty lawn table and just stacks of pizza boxes, beers, and fucking soda cans everywhere.
Yes,
With one guy playing fucking.
because that's what my room looks like right now. As I look at my
Well, yeah,
desk
but
with like a
that's 'cause you're like
tower
a
of
slob.
cans. I have to take out the garbage when the garbage bag is full.
That also doesn't live near a body of water, obviously.
Who's the John Romero of the of Battle Damage Studios?
We have one programmer.
Romero
No,
wasn't a
John Romero's the guy
programmer.
that slacks
Oh, it
off in the
wasn't?
back.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought it was.
Romero's the guy that made Daikatana.
He also made maps and for
Yes, he was actually a competent map designer.
Oh, he's a map designer. Okay.
Carmack was the tech wizard.
We don't really have
The other
dedicated
John.
people. Like at Battle Damage Studios, you have to have at least 4 jobs.
That's how it is with small businesses and stuff.
It's like I'm the writer.
wear
I'm also
different
a game
hats.
designer. I'm also the director.
Yep.
Got to do multiple jobs. We can't afford to hire more people. And honestly, I kind of
And
like
when
it
Halo
that
3
way.
was released. When did Halo 3 come out? 2009?
2007.
7?
Yeah, I believe. 2009 was way too
Let's
late.
see.
That's like the twilight
I
years of the Xbox.
Mm.
2007-ish. Yeah.
I would have been 15 airing on 16. So
How old was I? You're older than me, aren't you?
I'm I'm like 2 years older.
Yeah, I must have been like 13 or something.
I'll be 34 this year. So
Romo has
that's
the-
also the time period I wasn't able to play a ton of games, so like I have a lot of nostalgia for Halo 3 because like when I would get off work and come home, just fucking playing the shit out of that with my buddies and my brothers and what, like just ugh. Then my uncle would come over and want to do split screen multiplayer like we did in Halo 2, and he'd bitch because I'd beat his ass at it. Be like, "You're screen stealing, you're screen watching." Like, yeah, goddamn right I am.
Up here in Minnesota, we always call it screen sniping. Maybe we all have different terms. Because I've
You
heard
get
it like
so
different
mad
reasons.
about it. I'd be like, "Yeah, you're goddamn right. I'm playing to win, bitch." Then you go to my mom, be like, "You called me a bitch." Be like, "Well, stop being a bitch."
Man, I remember people trying to tattle on each other, and like the person
He did it
would be like-
jokingly because he knew what her response was going to be.
I know, but I remember like the age when that mattered, and like people were like, "Don't do it," and then
No,
like,
this was my mom's brother, so of course she knew.
and then they'd do it, and then the repercussion would be like, "Don't do that."
Thanks for the depression. No, don't think of it as depression, Moogie. You should relish the fact that you have those memories.
Yeah, imagine not being born to experience that.
Yeah,
Fuck.
imagine being Reguline. Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I never had any of that.
The only thing I'm
Yeah.
super sad about is I was still too young to experience proper LAN parties, so I had to recreate them myself in an
Oh,
era
yeah,
where
you
they
are
were
a
old.
baby.
Because
Yeah.
the only LAN party experience was one of my friends in the cul-de-sac knew this kid who was older and in high school at the time. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, they need players to play on the Xbox for the Halo like LAN party. And I'm like, what's a LAN party? What does that mean?
Just walk the fuck out of the room.
You
Like,
can
"All right, I'm
plug
done with this nerd."
Xboxes into each other? I didn't even know that. That explains
Also,
what
good
that
night,
report
Moogie.
was. Good night, Moogie. But yeah, that was
Romero's
wild.
maps are not that good. American McGee's are better. I agree, actually. Romero kind of got overhyped, and he got mad because of McGee, but that's a whole tangent.
I like id Software games. I know a little bit about the development history of id
Romero got
Software,
kicked
but
out
not
because he was
much.
slacking. That was the actual reason.
Yeah, he was a slacker and a slob and bitched all the time.
Damn.
And Carmack was a workaholic.
So he
Fuck.
made
Carmack,
a
Carmack,
program that
respect.
allowed him to
Respect
track
Carmack.
hours.
Yeah, so the reason you have keyloggers nowadays in corporate America is partially because of Carmack.
Amazing.
He actually
invented-
wrote custom software to track specifically Romero and then sold it later.
Because he, so it turned out that he was playing fucking, what was it?
Oh, I don't even
What was the
remember
game?
what he was
He
playing
was
something
playing
else
Doom
slacking off.
multiplayer, I believe, back in that era, right? Doom multiplayer followed by Quake multiplayer.
No, not Quake. It was Quake. Yeah, it was
Quake. Quake was revolutionary for its multiplayer functionality over everything
Oh, yeah.
else. It blew people away. Fragging as a culture was a thing. It was a thing that I wasn't really there for because I was too little and small.
LAN parties in middle school, Warcraft 3 maps, Mario Party. Yeah, I was more at that period. My LAN parties were more console games because that's what all my siblings were into. So that's what I got into with them. I preferred PC myself, but you go with the flow.
I
Fucking
want
cool
to
guy
buy a
Schmormu over
big
here,
giant
fucking
CRTV that turns
Jesus.
my apartment into an oven. I wanted to have.
I don't. I do not miss CRTs or the heat.
I miss them. I miss how poor
do
the
not.
visual quality was, and I miss like how
I do
blocky
not
they
have
were.
nostalgia for any of that because I grew up with black and white TV.
Yeah, we had black and white
I do not miss
TV
that.
at my grandparents.
Well, Tasky says send you a picture, Kibbs.
Yeah, it's a picture. I can show the chat bitches. Like, thanks for calling us bitches, kid. You
Bitches,
son of a bitch.
I like
Open
how
up.
this is. I've managed to derail this into member berries.
Oh man, it's an
Mine
era.
was swapping 3.5-inch floppies in the playground. Oh yeah,
Fuck.
like you're fucking cool kids. Like, "Hey, man, you want to try this out? Yeah, sliding it, try to make sure the teachers don't notice.
Fucking floppy disks, dude. That's like fucking. That's like back when I was in Catholic school for a little bit. They had those computers before I got kicked out.
Carmack's now working on an actual artificial intelligence. And well, no, artificial intelligence isn't a thing.
He's
The
probably working
processing
on
power
LLM.
doesn't exist.
Yeah, we
Well,
don't.
yeah, because
We
what
can't
you
make
call it,
AIs.
Meta shut down their VR section. So
There,
he was
yeah.
the head of their VR department.
This is a picture of
I do think if anyone
Oh
was
yeah, the
like
Halo
you-
Warthog thing. Yeah,
the real
yeah.
warthog. Yeah, that's pretty
I
cool.
do
That
think
thing
if
was so
anyone
cool.
actually was to
Can actually
create an
move.
AI, it
It's
would
very
be John
slow though.
Yes, it's a functional vehicle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I give it a 6 out of 7.
There's a
6 out of
guy
8
that's
rather.
actually recreating Halo's actual weapons as like actual rifles and shit. And he said for the most part, a lot of their gun design was actually pretty spot on. He's had to, properly finagle some things where gas tubes weren't proper diameters and all that. He had to swap some cartridges around because like the battle rifle uses some fake cartridge that doesn't exist. So he just chambered it in 5.56. But yeah.
Let's see. Next, we should move on to the next article. But yeah, so the Halo rot has been revealed. Fuck Halo. Or well, I love Halo, but fuck people.
No, Halo's cool as shit.
Fuck
Halo
Halo
Labs is
Studio.
gay and cringe.
So this
Or
is
Halo
something that
Studios,
Bucky
whatever
was
they are.
supposed to be here for. So I'm gonna see if I can decipher what it is, because this is a Bucky article he sent me. It says, "Do not work with him. This guy scammed us of $8,000, I assume, lied and kept making excuses. In the end, he ghosted us, told us he was in an accident, all while he was working on another game." Ah, yes, I've heard these stories before. After that, he just ghosted us and didn't respond. Be warned. Roblox, #RobloxDev.com, Caleb the Devs.
Roblox stuff. Yeah, that's a whole
Let me
scummy
just open that.
underworld.
The page doesn't
If,
exist. Well, he's hidden himself now, whoever he is.
Yeah, he's probably
So-
deleting all his social media at this point.
Okay, here's more
he
information on
ghosted
it,
someone.
actually. So, context, we hired him for a tower defense game, and we paid upfront a total of $8,000. I mean, yeah, if you're just making like in Game Maker, you could probably make it for that. It's going to be very, very low quality, though. Out of the 12K, he did a little bit of work, but nothing significant. Slowly, he started to lazy up and gave his focus to other projects. And when we confronted him, he made up some excuses. Yeah, working with bad devs, been there, done that. Not going to name names because it's rude, I think, in my opinion, because it's just bad enmity stuff. But, like, yeah, something you should be careful of. Because in every, oh, God. Like you give people money and like nothing progresses. Yeah, I had that a lot in the anti-piracy gig thing. When we were hiring programmers from like certain places. But yeah, he made excuses like his mother is ill, he got into a crash and whatnot, but he was caught lying as he actively worked on Azure Latch updates, posting on update logs, etc. Whatever the situation may have been, this proves that he had been lying. Hey, sorry for not being active recently. I was in a crash in real life, and it's caused me to be fairly inactive. While I may have seemed online sometimes, I've actually had people cover quite a lot of things for me during my downtime, which apparently was fabricated. And then, yeah, okay. So basically, what Bucky wanted to probably point out with this is that just be careful with certain developers before like hiring them for things. Yeah, usually you're going to want a trial period when you work for somebody. And this is something I recommend to avoid this, a trial period or test pieces, right? In the case of artists, what I usually do is I do a test commission. I first do a test commission to see how long it takes for them to produce it, to map and measure the time it takes in which for them to produce that work. And then we'll asking and communicating with them like, okay, like this, and that. Not being too picky, and then just letting them handle it at their own leisure. The reason why I do that is to figure out how actually productive they truly are. If it takes them for an age and a half to get to it, then I immediately mark them as an X, meaning, no, you failed already. If they produce something in a reasonable time frame with the quality I expect, then I put a little check mark next to their name, and then I move them to the next test where I give them a second test piece, because I usually give them a series of tests where then I test like, okay, work that would be more exemplified for the studio, and then work that's an example for the channel. And certain artists pass certain tests, like for example, Bino is more channel, so he has more checks for channel work, and so he ended up working on the channel. Versus Indio had more checks for working on game, but didn't have the skill level to match. So what I did is I had him work on channel until we made his skill level rise to match where I could be like, okay, you can work on game now. Same goes for Lycanfish or fan artists. Fan artists like Lycanfish, I kept an eye on and watched his fan art and continued to monitor it. And I tell them this because it's important to be honest, right? And it was as soon as he was at a certain level of quality, I hired internally. Just like when I saw Salah do the fan art, he already matched all those checks. So I gave him a test commission. He passed. And then I hired Salah to work full time because he's my guy now.
I can't imagine lying about a family member having some sort of terrible illness as an excuse or something. Like, go fuck yourself.
I have no idea, dude.
Because you actually have a family member that has a terrible illness.
I have both parents are looking at cancer treatment. Like, go fuck yourself. You're absolutely vile.
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you why they do that.
It's over like $8,000. That's it. Like, fucking Christ.
I mean, these are the kinds of people that probably don't like their parents at all much, if I had to be honest with you. Like, they'll claim that their parents are dead or dying or something, and then, fucking use that to buy time to do something else. It's one of those things, right? Like, I recently had a relative who unfortunately passed away, like a week ago, and it's one of those things that you don't try to use stuff like that as an excuse. That's why, because you don't want to. I don't know. I assume you're the same way, everybody here probably, because it's like usually you just don't. Like honestly, I kind of hate when people say they feel bad or sorry, and while I appreciate it, it's like I know everybody feels sorry. I just wish we didn't have to talk about it.
Nothing to feel sorry.
Yeah, you have nothing to feel sorry for because you didn't do anything. Like I get it because it's like they're saying it to
Oh, they're voicing empathy for the
yeah,
situation.
empathy, but it's like you didn't do anything wrong, and I feel bad that now you feel bad. Now I feel worse that you feel bad for me. It's like I don't want to hear about it.
But it does not surprise me that someone making Roblox games is a scummy piece of garbage.
Yeah,
Well,
Roblox is
itself is a piece of shit. I'm not sure why kids love that fucking game so much.
Same reason why kids loved Minecraft and stuff like that. It's
Minecraft's actually
easy.
good.
It's easy to run, and you can use it for socialization.
Though I'll be real, I like more focused experiences. Minecraft was a great stepping stone, but I think things like Hytale are a better idea on where to take a stepping stone, giving it actual direction. Because you need to have like actual direction about like exploration and what to do. Minecraft is huge and you can explore, but there's no real direction. Like there's nothing really to do.
kind of the point, really, though. It's
Yeah,
like
that's the
the
point.
point
It's
of
a
Minecraft is that
sandbox.
it's aimless. Like you
Mhm.
don't have
Yes.
to. You can
It's
do whatever
you
you
make
want.
your own fun.
Yeah, I mean, same with Project
It's
Zomboid,
sandbox.
but there's more direction in Project Zomboid. I like to have a little bit more narrative focus, if you know what I mean. Personal preference.
Well, that's
Mhm.
because like Project Zomboid is actually a difficult game. It's not like Minecraft is not. No
Yeah,
matter how much
Minecraft.
they want you
Well,
to.
Project
Minecraft.
Zomboid's really difficult, which is why it's fun.
Yeah,
That's because Minecraft is just made for
baby game.
little kids to. Well, it didn't start out this way, but it's become
Yep.
a game for kids to play.
It's a good game for kids. Kids can lose countless hours because it allows them to explore their imagination. It's much like I said back in 2012. It's pretty much, or is it 2012 or 2011? I can't remember. Either way, I said something along the lines of it's pretty much the Legos of video games. Like you can build and make whatever. It was the first video game to really realize that, which is funny because you think Lego would have done something, but they never did. They just slept on that forever.
They never made a building game. They just make like movie license games, which is what I find weird with Lego anyway.
Mm. Oh well, what can you do, little fishies? Let's see what's this
But
next.
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Yep. Just be careful with people. Usually have a trial period. Trial periods are really good, and there's a reason why they're pretty standard in contractor fields and stuff like that. Because I got that idea from my dad. That's why I applied it to what I do. I just literally copied what he did. You have a trial period to
Most
figure out if
people-
somebody's good at something.
Most people cannot maintain a lie past 3 months.
Yep. The facade will fall
It
apart.
starts falling apart.
Now, really good sociopaths and psychopaths can persist in that for a very long time.
Well, psychopathy doesn't equate to
yeah,
a good liar.
it's they're broken on the inside, so that's just how they
Right.
behave. But yeah, usually people will reveal themselves. That's why trial periods are really good, because you can reveal whether somebody's going to get the job done or not. Next up, we have is video game news. Woohoo! So, there is a new spooky, scary video game coming out. I know it's not the kind of spooky, scary game I thought I'd be
The
talking about.
original Jurassic Park Jeeps, this might be unfathomably based.
So, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, the art style being 1990s makes me want this game because I love the idea of a 1990s style video game. But yeah, return to Isla Nublar on the day after the events of the beloved 1993 Jurassic Park film and survive a thrilling first-person action game set as Dr. Maya Joshi, which is basically, she's like apparently somebody they left behind because she was that unimportant.
Later,
That's the
bitch.
plot. It's a single-player survival horror game, is what the idea of it is. And it's also slated to be open world, was one of the new announcements.
Wait, they're doing single play. A game like this would, I don't know. We'll have to see the trailer.
It could be cool to have like a multiplayer thing where you work together to overcome things and then you get eaten
That's
by
what I would
dinosaurs.
think. In a survival horror experience, those are always a ton of fun with friends. Although it does take away from the horror aspect a little bit.
True. I just hope this is good because honestly, Jurassic Park is one of my all-time favorite movies, and a video game set in the original Jurassic Park, not the Jurassic World slop, is actually right up my alley. So let's take a look at the trailer real quick. Let's watch some spooky dinosaurs, chat.
Some spoops.
We're probably going to lose ad revenue from this.
I own an island.
Yep, there it goes.
There it goes. Really spectacular,
John
spared no
Williams.
expense. For this place, I wanted to show them something that wasn't an illusion. Something that was real.
Can anyone hear me? This is Dr. Maya Joshi. I've been left behind on Isla Nublar.
Good. That's what you get. She's gonna become a burger. Look, scene from movie.
They're literally member burying and it's
Yeah,
working. God damn it.
They're sick, aren't they?
They are.
Instead of raptors, though, it's a
Very,
fucking wolf.
very diverse character, though. Incredibly diverse.
True.
Considering, what was in the film.
Is anyone there?
What are you stopping for, bitch?
To look at the ground for iconic member berries. For iconic.
Well, you're fucking dead.
Gotta do the thing in the movie, don't move. Well, you're an idiot. Well, you're an idiot. And the raptor, they confirmed that he got out now. Now we finally know what happened to the raptor in the cold storage.
It's made by Saber.
Yep, it's a Saber Interactive, developed and published
Damn.
in-house. So
Saber's making moves, it seems.
Saber Interactive this is a huge movie license title. Now, one thing I will say about movie license titles, because it's going to piss me off, and I've talked about the thing that annoys me about this, that means that this game has a limited lifespan before it disappears off of the market, because Saber Interactive at some point down the road won't renew the license with whoever owns Jurassic Park. And because they're not going to renew it, what's going to happen? The video game's going to get pulled off of Steam. That's going to happen at some point in the future, just like it does with every other fucking movie license game. So just bear in mind,
it becomes free.
if it's, yeah, I mean, that's true. It becomes abandonware. So, I mean, you know what? Let's look at the bright side, right? So at some point, no matter what, if this game is really good and you just never decide to buy it, it'll eventually become free. There you go. Woo.
Considering how expensive licensing contracts are, I'd give it maybe 4 years.
It has to be like at least half a decade, like something like that, at least. Saber Interactive has to have like a deal for that.
They're
At
being
least.
savages. God damn it.
What? Bad fishes. Start slapping them like, they just look at us.
What if Chatfish was asking, will she ask them to redeem?
Do not redeem. Is she Indian? I thought she was like Hispanic.
Will she tell the dinos not to redeem?
She's
This
not
is racist.
Hispanic.
No, yeah.
She's I don't know what she is. She's ambiguously brown.
Yeah, honestly, I can't tell. I don't think Indian. What was her name? Dr. Miyoshi? Maybe Filipino?
Maybe.
Not with Miyoshi, no.
Or no, Dr. Maya Joshi.
Miyoshi.
Look up that name. What's Joshi last
Maybe
name?
Maybe she's a Okinawan.
Okinawan? What?
Yeah, because the jokes that Okinawa people are just a little darker, and so that's what all the black people in anime are actually based off of.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Oh, no, she's Indian.
Okay.
It's a Brahmin caste name in India.
Ramen.
Remember, chat, do not redeem, all right? So long as the dinosaurs do not redeem, they'll be okay. As long as the dinosaurs do.
We'll learn that she's somewhat responsible for the outbreaks.
We learned that she's responsible. It wasn't actually Nedry.
No, that'd be
It wasn't
fucking funny as
Nedry
shit
like doing
if she was
corporate
somehow actually
sabotage and espionage. It was her incompetence.
She actually was the one who did it. Like, Nedry's code was actually going to work. The systems were going to reboot. Everyone was going to be fine. She accidentally, like, tripped a circuit or something that fucking prevented the systems from rebooting. Amazing. I do actually, well, diverse cast aside, well, single character, because I don't think there's going to be other characters.
I hope
the island's supposed to be evacuated. Oh, the death animations will probably be brutal in this, if I had to guess. If it's to go off of any other Jurassic Park game, usually the death animations are pretty horrific. Usually. It's borderline misery porn.
Brahmin amongst the lowest class? No, they're like one of the highest. I mean, they're still like, well, I guess.
Well, she has to be. She's working at Isla Nublar, right? She's got to be the higher
That
caste.
doesn't mean anything. I can't say more because I don't want to get Kibbs' channel nuked.
Yub nubs, please understand. Like, no, squishes.
Please respond, Chatfish.
Myrtle.
Considering the
Chatfish are
like,
feeling bad for the dinosaurs that eat her now. What the fuck?
yeah, they're gonna have a bad tummy ache.
Tummy no feel good. Tummy no.
Considering like the ethnic makeup of the original cast of the movie and everything, like
It was.
it just seems weird.
Yeah, there was like Sam Jackson, and there was like an Australian, Muldoon, but Muldoon was supposed to be South African in the books.
Yeah, they changed him to Australian because there were some happenings in South Africa at the time.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
Yep.
That was that era.
In South Africa.
There were quite a few happenings, and they didn't want to associate the movie with that. Which, to be fair, probably a smart idea.
Now, one thing I will do is I will give the game, because it is Saber Interactive, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. If it comes out and she's actually just like Slop and she's like Grace, I will be super livid. But I didn't hear her stuttering, so I already like her more than Grace. Granted, that's a super low bar. That's a very low bar. It's a very low...
Harlan said the membership.
Thank you for the membership. Very generous. Like, you know, Claire Redfield didn't scream and whine and go...
No, she just flirted with Leon.
Shaboba,
Shaq, you want to have sex? Wait a minute.
And then Leon's too autistic.
Leon's
He's like, no way, bro.
No, I'm too dumb. I'm going to join President. Okay. Okay.
Then his daughter goes, hey, you know, we work really well together. We could do some stuff afterwards. No way, bro.
Segs, Leon. Segs. No way. But
no way. Segs is gay. Segs is...
No. Don't say the actual lie.
I can't.
Not any... Well...
I want to, though.
Okay, so real quickly to look over the video game. So yeah, you gotta hide from dinosaurs that are gonna be mean to you. You gotta survive the island. But there's not a lot more details than that. The only other information we really got about it, sadly no release date, was that the reason why it's taking a little bit longer, and we know this now, is because the game is actually meant to be open world, because they want you to be able to fully explore InGen's facilities on Isla Nublar and its park facilities. So they want to try to include as many of the areas from the book/movie as possible, so that you can actually go all over the place and actually check everything out. Which I really like the idea of. I'm kind of imagining it's going to be like a little bit of puzzles like Resident Evil, where you got to figure out things, turn things back on to get like comms back online so you can call for help because you got left behind. But they would do a head count eventually and then be like, somebody's missing.
Memes aside, it very well could be a really good game. We don't know.
I hope it is. I'll just be a little bit sad if it isn't, because the art style, I'm digging it. Like, or not the art style, the tech period. They're going for a general photorealistic look, which they've managed to do okay. Looks, it's a bit stylistic. Probably for the best. Hopefully it's not shit.
I mean, it is what it is. Like, I prefer when they don't do photorealism, but it's also not going to stop if I complain. It's one of those things. It's no wonder she got left behind there 40 over. Oh my god.
Damn. Chat bitches. Sassy little fishes today. Sassy little chatfish. All right, next up we have a game that I do have low confidence in. We're going to watch the official pre-alpha playtest announcement from posted by IGN for State of Decay 3. Now, State of Decay 3, we're going to preface this with the fact that the game has been known to be in development hell. It is suffering internally, and we know that there are issues behind the scenes. The last trailer did have a random LGBTQ reference randomly just plastered on it for no reason that offers really no value. So I have to mention that because honesty is important. So my confidence level is lower, but let's take a look at this video. Haven't watched it, so I have no opinion. 3, 2, 1.
Any survivors out there? Is this thing working? Can you hear me? This is Brant Fitzgerald from the Undead Labs Enclave in Seattle, and I'm broadcasting this message to the State of Decay community to give you an update on State of Decay 3.
Over the last few years, most of the team's been doing updates for State of Decay 2. The rest of us been creating cool for State of Decay 3.
They fucking censored him.
We've been keeping a close eye on what you
like. Hold up a tick. Let's rewind that.
Yeah, I watched this when it came out yesterday or the day before, whatever it was.
We have to talk about this. We've got the fucking L squad ready to go.
This is if there's ever a Soy Jack squad, this is it.
These are the people. Well, the guy in the back right might be okay. Maybe the girl on the left, she looks like she's kind of in shape. But we've got two people that look slightly overweight. They're clearly hogging the food.
No, they don't look slightly overweight. They look obese.
They look overweight. I'm not going to use the word obese because I can't see the chubby belly. And I forget what the textbook definition is. It's very round. and very
That's
chubby.
an obese person's face.
Yeah, like they're eating all the rations. Like you can't be obese in an apocalypse. If you're
Like,
obese,
bitch,
then
this
other
is the
people are
end of the
starving.
world. Where are you getting all that food?
Like share with the rest. Share the load.
Guy on the right's starving. He's like, I'm tired, boss. I'm hungry.
Guy on the left's like, at least they let me have the hair dye. At least, is she actually have dyed hair there? I can't tell.
Oh yeah,
if it's
and
shading.
she has she's got what you call it, studs in her face too.
Like these
And
sort
her
of
eyebrow.
cosmetics are not something you're gonna have in the apocalypse. Because guess what?
No, your bitch ass is dying very quickly.
You have the apocalypse. Like you don't get to have these
Keeping a
things.
close eye on what you liked about State of Decay 2 and what you didn't.
How
We've
far
read
into
your
the apocalypse
feedback
are
on
they?
Discord.
Smush?
We've watched
It's
your
like several
gameplay
years
clips
now.
and live streams on YouTube.
Yeah, State of Decay
Guess, like,
2 is
they've
pretty
had
far
those
in.
We've
studs
seen
for
how
years, I
powerful and
guess.
tight knit this community is.
No, because that shit would like, no.
That's all you gotta do, guys.
It became clear the community is survival and that we need your help. And if you've made it this far, great, because starting next month, we'll be hosting a series of alpha playtests with the community. Listen, I'm not going to spoil the surprise
God
for
help
you,
me.
but I can say
God help me. This game's dead on arrival, boys. I don't think it's gonna make it.
Strategies,
God damn.
a whole lot of combat. If scavenging supplies
Gorlak
in the
to
middle of a
destroy
zombie
you.
outbreak sounds fun to you.
What the fuck?
then
In the
grab your
post-apocalypse, we
pack
have
some
like
mags,
dye our hair
and
now.
head over
Like
to our
what? the
website
fuck?
Yeah,
to find
bitch.
more information
You think we have time
and
to do that?
register
We
for a
barely have
chance
time to
be included in the
bathe.
alpha.
Look, it's
If you don't
millennial
get
writing. Of
contacted
course
for
you do.
this round, don't worry. We'll keep your name on the list and have plenty of other opportunities for you throughout the
I have
year.
some serious doubts.
We'll be sharing
No
updates
attack
like
and put
this
a
throughout
physical
development to keep you
appearance.
updated
Oh, well,
on
look like
what's
one
new,
guy on the
what
team
we're learning,
exercises.
and let you know about more opportunities to join.
Well, those are the dev team members, not the other people.
Thank you again. for
I
your
hope it's
support
good,
and your patience over the
but
years.
I have
have
some
no
doubts.
problem
I'd
with
like to share more information. about
And
State
I
of Decay
loved
with you.
State of Decay 1 and 2.
Remember,
Well,
the
1
community
more
is
so. 2
survival.
was kind of
Oh God.
But
Yeah.
considering the things I've seen in the background with State of Decay 3, all the issues with development and everything, and like the weird modern political shit they're pushing into it, I have
Yes.
no.
Also, State of Decay, if I remember, Undead Labs, they're owned by Microsoft, aren't they?
Yes.
So the same problems we saw in Halo Studios, Ensemble Studios, Bungie, and everybody else, and Blizzard Entertainment, and every other fucking studio that's been trapped with this rancid ass company. Set your expectations at the lowest level possible, and if it turns out to be good, yay. But
State of
I'm not
Decay
going to
2
hold my breath.
multiplayer lobby system is so shit. It's really bad.
I have no idea
The
why it was so
multiplayer in
bad.
State of Decay 2, which was a huge thing they marketed, is it's fucking bad. Like,
When it works, it's fun, but like, yeah, getting it to work is a pain in the ass.
it's just, and I love games like this, but goddamn, like it's so bad. The desync's horrible. The performance was horrible on PC because it's very clearly a console game that they didn't port properly.
They didn't give any resources for the port team as usual. Not a surprise in the slightest.
But I mean, it's not a like 100% ignore memes aside. It's a wait. I'm gonna wait and see, but I do not have faith in it.
Yeah. If it turns out to be good, great. It'll be a pleasant surprise. But I'm gonna be real. I'm expecting it to be bad.
Mm-hmm.
And I have
Only
good
hosts
news.
can build. Other players are just for the ride. Yeah, the when you play the 2 multiplayer, it's very weird because you join someone else's like survivor community and you play as one of your guy from your community, but you can't do anything. You just tag along with them as they scavenge and shit.
That's lame. That is
Like
lame.
it's fun if you're playing with like friends or whatnot. That
I know,
you
but
just
it'd be
want, like,
cool if they
hang
could
out with.
participate with the world and they could interact with it.
Yes, that would be much better.
Because, like, I don't
That
mind
and
if my friend builds stuff in my world. That's okay with me.
They like locked weird progression things behind this other game mode they made, which is just a horde mode, which desync's so fucking bad it's impossible to get rewards from.
God fucking damn.
Mm-hmm.
This Jover chat bros. But yeah, I've been looking forward to State of Decay 3 for a long time. But over the years, I've become more skeptical. The big thing that got me excited was seeing the animals infected, I will say. That got my interest. I was like, oh, cool, we're going to get like zombie deers and like zombie animals because the virus is now jumping species. That could lead to some cool monsters. But I'm gonna just assume it's gonna be bad, and if it turns out to be good, yay. If not, well,
Yep.
so be it. You know.
I do really like the vehicle system and stuff from State of Decay 1 and 2. The vehicles feel fine, and the upgrade
Yeah.
system's cool and 2.
State of Decay is a really cool like video game concept. I wish they would make it good. I know it sounds so basic, bitch. I know, but like I feel like in today's age with these AAAs, it's like that's honestly
attached-
greedy. It's honestly,
Anything attached to AAA, you have to preface it with, I just wish it wasn't bad.
yeah, I hate that. I really wish this wasn't the norm. Well,
Yeah.
on the good news, rise up, my Eastern European fish. Like,
Rise up, Slavs.
rise, rise. We've got good news for you. April 30th, Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era will be launching into early access. And the good news I want to talk about with this game is that it's being published now. No, Ubisoft is no longer attached to the publishing, so I think they're removed. I'm not sure if that's entirely the case. It was kind of sketchy because Ubisoft was originally publishing this. Now Hooded Horse is the only listed publisher on the store page. So not sure what's going on behind that scene, so to speak, if Ubisoft's going to completely tits up. But Hooded Horse is publishing Unfrozen's Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era. And the one thing I will say about this game is that I actually had a lot of fun with it. It was like my first proper Heroes of Might and Magic game, as in like I played it for actually a decent chunk. I tried the demo. The demo is quite meaty. It's available right now if you want to try it. And it looks like it's pretty solid. Like the developers seem to also be talking with the community quite a bit and engaging in dialogue with the community and what they want. And the game seems to be developing in a positive direction. People, when they first looked at this, said it looked like a mobile game, but when you play it, I will say that, well, I get where the mobile game like comes from when you look at these visuals. When you play it, it kind of feels like it fits like a glove. Like it actually feels good visually. It's kind of weird at first, like when I looked at it, I was like, but then when I played it, it was all right. The art style seems to fit. It's also got great music, beautiful music, surprisingly good music, and some really interesting visuals. One thing I will say that I don't think the game seems to be suffering from any overt wokeism that I can tell, and I know that I hate that I have to bring that up now, by the way, but
it is a consideration, unfortunately.
It is a consideration because Ubisoft was involved. When I played the game, I noticed that the priestesses, so to speak, for the humans were holy schmokerolies. They were quite scantily, I will say.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are they
kitties.
busty and have basically nothing on?
Yeah, pretty much. The game seems to be totally embracing its roots, from what I can tell. So, yeah, maybe it's going to be good. Maybe it's going to be good. I'm going to be definitely checking this out come April 30th. I'll be picking it up. And we might do a multiplayer stream. We're going to try the multiplayer because I really want to try Heroes of Might and Magic. It's one of the series that kind of is interesting. So for those who haven't played it like me, when I played it, it's like you command a heroes and your heroes like level up and have skills and they build like little armies and then you have to upgrade your cities and you move your armies around. It's kind of like Total War, but like more down to earth. Like in the sense that
like
you're more
past
tied
weeks and stuff. Like every week you get new units and stuff, and you get income and resources, and you allocate it. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, because the metagame is similar to the Total War's metagame system, but it's a lot more involved in this one, and it feels like the overworld actually has a lot more gameplay elements, except for the fact that I don't think the environment ties to the combat. But I'm not entirely sure.
A lot of the older Heroes of Might and Magic had gorgeous pixel art.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the sprite work for the older ones are good. I will say, while they didn't go with a 2D art style here, I think the art direction of like the cities and stuff look really beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Is it pixel art or is it like 3D or something
3D.
like that?
You know, play the trailer so you can see. But yeah, the art style I think here is actually pretty good, like visually. It's a departure from the other ones I've looked at because it's a different art style, different art director. But I think they did a good job with the visuals here.
Oh yeah, it is 3D. Okay. I kind of like the pixel art more, but it's not bad at all.
I always lean towards pixel art personally, but I think the visuals here they didn't do a bad job at all. Like the undead feel cool. There's like the dragon underground city, or lizard people or whatever they are, and the cities have their own unique music, which is really nice.
Dungeon in this game? I don't remember.
I don't know. I've never actually played any of the Heroes games. I've just always liked the art style.
The Cthulhu faction.
That and the music.
Cthulhu.
I like the music quite a bit. It reminds me of God of War. That really does, doesn't it? You hear that? Like, I'll rewind that, like, section. It couldn't be the same composer, could it? No. They definitely spent money on this.
So, I'm curious. Let's see. What is this? The olden era?
Yep, it's
I
called
wonder
Heroes
who
of
the
Might and Magic
composer
Olden
for
Era.
it is. Is it the guy that did all the old ones? Paul Anthony Romero,
I have no
as
idea.
Catfish have pointed out. Let's
Is
see.
it-
What is this? Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era.
Yeah, who's the composer? Seems like he knows his stuff. The really good use of melodies here. Jeffish, you're thinking like,
Me thinking real hard.
Jeffish think big thinkies.
Ah, well, yes, the original guy is working on it.
Ah, they actually got him to reprise his
Composers
position.
for Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era include Paul Anthony Romero, who is the original guy, Chris Velasco, and some other Polish names I can't pronounce.
Okay, that's a good sign.
Conductor of the hero. Oh, okay. So the primary composer is going to be Paul Romero, and then a lot of the like secondary guys are people that are working on like the orchestral stuff. Yeah, if you never heard Paul Romero's stuff, he's like actually classically trained. He's phenomenal.
Yeah, the music for this is really good. Like, I played the demo for this, and I was genuinely blown away by, like, because I was kind of expecting this game to be like, it might be okay. But I was like, I'm going to go into it, give it the benefit of the doubt, and I was pleasantly surprised because I was like, holy crap, I've never really played one of these games before, but, like, the music, the art, it really sucks you in. Like, it was surprisingly good, despite all the people talking like at the time about like, hey, you should check out a mobile game. Like when you play it, it feels like a big AAA budget title, but it's only
Yes, we
published by
have
Hooded Horse.
official Heroes Orchestra in Poland. That's what I was just looking at. Yeah, they have an actual Heroes Orchestra.
It's very well done. The music is phenomenal. The music in this game is great, and I fully intend to get the original soundtrack for this because it was really
Yeah,
good.
like across the entire Hero, like while I've never played the games, I do actually listen to the music because it's that good. Like the music for the franchise as a whole has been phenomenal.
Yeah. So this is definitely one to put on your little wish list, Catfishies, because it's actually turning out like a really good game. And again, if you're skeptical, there's a demo. They're doing something amazing here. Demos. I cannot
Return to demos.
Return to demos. This is a trend that I am very happy with. Yes, I will understand before anybody says anything. Front-loading demos is a thing to be aware of. People do that. But demos are still a good thing. Even if people exploit and use things like front-loading techniques, it's still good practice to have demos. And I refuse to back down on that point. Because I think
anyone who
try it.
Anyone who thinks demos are bad, frankly, your opinion should be discarded. Like demos
Into
are
the trash
always
with you.
good.
Like,
Yes,
no, I'm never going to discard somebody's opinion. I just disagree with them vehemently.
I will.
Damn.
I had with Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era was the UI, but otherwise it felt very solid. It looks good. I just wish it was more pixel arty, but like, I mean, as Kibbs can probably tell you, and well, Robin, if he was here, it's a dying art style, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadly,
And
low
you people
res.
who are good at it. Good luck.
Low res pixel art is unfortunately starting to fade into obscurity. While there are still people that do it, people that actually do it traditionally are disappearing. Like, for example, while what would be an example of this? An example would probably be in the more modern sense. Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War does make use of sprite work. However, it's actually, I think, a different technique of sprite work where you take a 3D model, you flatten it, and turn it into a sprite, and then you touch it up a little bit, and then you take different pictures, which is a different technique because they do that for Bolt Gun, but they also do a little bit of custom work too because some of those things are actually unique in terms of their animations. So it's not like they're not doing it. It's just they're not doing the conventional way, traditional way. A game that did this relatively recently, like had pixel art, but I personally didn't like was this game, Songs of Conquest. Some people might like this game. It was something that honestly My eardrums. I didn't really like it. It too makes use of pixel art, but it does things I don't like that I find really annoying. Like it stretches.
Oh, it's a Hero's spiritual successor. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, there were no Heroes games for a good long while.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll make one. So they made it with bad music.
But yeah, their
decent
pixel
gameplay.
art is gorgeous in this.
Yeah, some of the animators that I'm familiar with that worked on this game are fantastic animators in the industry, but that still exist. They're still around, but they're really old. The pixel art's good. It just does this game does things where it contrasts art styles, so it makes use of high res art with low res art, and it's really agitating on my eyes, which makes this game difficult for me to play because it makes me feel nauseous and like get a headache. Because my eyes strain when like the contrast is like these shots there were just the pixel art was fine, but the problem is that it uses high res arts and the portraits and pictures, and it makes my eyes strain. It's probably just a me thing, unfortunately. But like even right now, my fucking eyes are hurting every time they switch to the
Mine are
fucking
fine.
res things.
Yeah, that might be a you thing.
Oh,
I do find it.
the art style of the characters is not so good. Like it's well done, but it's like visually they're not good. The songs are also bad.
When it comes to strategy games, a lot of them
It
are just
actually held
basically,
up okay.
if you're playing a custom faction, we're killing you, we're kicking out of the game.
Yeah, correct.
Die
Everyone will
first.
form an alliance and they will murder you. Correct.
Yeah, I played some of this game, and I'm gonna be honest, I did have fun with it, though I'm not the best at these types of strategy games.
Yeah.
Might and Magic is one of the few strategy genres I'm the least familiar with.
Same, but I'm
Although I
actually more interested in the olden era one. The olden era one speaks to me. Maybe it's because the music really captured me. I'm not sure what really does it, but something about this game speaks to me that Songs of Conquest doesn't. And I can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's everything.
I know from a gameplay perspective, after playing Songs of Conquest and then the demo of Olden Era, one thing Songs of Conquest suffers of, you're de-incentivized to build new stacks, like ludicrously, even more so than what some of my other friends told me, even more so than the previous Might and Magic games, as you just want to build one Doom stack and that's about it. Do you want to experiment with builds? Maybe have more than one? No, you'll never be able to afford it, and the AI will just curb stomp you. It is, from a mechanical and gameplay perspective, weirdly balanced, and Olden Era is, while you're still incentivized to build a Doom stack, you at least have more flexibility. Hey, if you want to build another stack, you can at least do it. So it's a bit better balanced in that aspect. So I think it's a pure gameplay thing.
Yeah, maybe. Something about Olden Era just feels better. I don't know. It's just like, because I played Songs of Conquest, and I played it, I got to the first song, cringed, and then closed the game. It's whenever you beat like a chapter,
campaigns.
like a song will play, but the songs are really, I don't know. It really just didn't. It just didn't feel like it hit the right notes for me. One of those subjective things. It's purely a taste matter. Definitely try it for yourself because it might be up your alley, chat. But for me, it just didn't click. Let's see. Home. You have to play the meta, says Stone Age. What? Olden Era is supposed to be the prequel to the entire series too. I don't really care about that. To be honest, the only thing I care about is the game good or not at the moment. Because, to my knowledge, Heroes of Might and Magic kind of stagnated as a series. Because the last time I played a Heroes of Might and Magic game before this, which again I didn't play it much, was back when Ubisoft was giving out keys for the Curator program. And I got that, what was it? What was the last Heroes of Might and Magic game? I don't remember. I played it for like 5 minutes and was like, this isn't fun, and then closed it. And then basically decided I didn't want to make a review about it. Because at the time I got Toy Soldiers War Chest instead, and so I took more interest in coverage of that. That's always funny because it's my claim to fame. When Ubisoft begged me. That was so funny.
7 was the last one in 2015.
Yeah, it was that, I think. Because, like, my interactions with Ubisoft have never been positive. Like, it's been with the support, and the support teams suck, and it's been from their PR team when they gave me access to fucking Toy Soldiers, and they basically asked me to rewrite my review, and I was like, why? And they're like, just try it again. And I tried it again, like, it's, like, I don't know what you want. Like, nothing changed. It still sucks. Like, I don't know.
They canceled the game.
Yes, Toy Soldiers War Chest is, yes, dead. But it wasn't just me that thought that. It was everybody else on the curator program thought that. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know what.
I hate Toy Soldiers on Steam. I hate it so much.
Toy Soldiers is amazing. Toy Soldiers Cold War is gold. But, like, the port is not very good to PC.
Yeah. The port, they ruined everything.
Troy says the last OK Heroes game was 4, and it was 3, less than 3. I'm going to tell you something controversial, chat. My art director didn't mind 5. Let it be said that Carlos needs to be punished. Well, less so art director, but concept artist, if you get my drift.
And he's European.
Yeah.
So he likes this kind of game.
How does that make you feel, chat?
Europeans and the
Do you think I should punish my concept artist, chat? Chat, tell me what I should do to my concept artist right now. He's like, listen.
Are you sure about
like,
that?
Looking at me like, please don't hurt me. He liked Heroes of Might and Magic 5. 5 is not bad. What the fuck? Okay, I didn't know if you guys were going to say it was bad. I don't know. I played Heroes of Might and Magic 5, and I thought the music for the main menu was cute. It was like sad and melancholic and like hopeful. I liked it. I thought it was cute. It had a dude like fighting a demon, jumping around a tree and flopping around, and it looped. And it looped. I remember because I stared at that main menu and was like, "This is nice."
Yeah. But also on the pixel art point, I do understand what you mean. I think my favorite pixel art game, or just artistically, was Hyper Light Drifter. I love the art style of that game. But you're seeing it go more towards what Olden Era is doing, this kind of art style. Hand painted, is it?
It's sort of like, I would call it kind of oil painterly. Oil painting is what it looks like, because it's got this sort of warm colors and stuff here. And like the colors overall carry like the mood, right? So, for example, Undead, like look at that. Very cool blues and like dark purples here make it very cold. Very cold. Like I feel cold looking at it, right? Versus here it feels very warm, doesn't it? Because of the hues. And each environment sort of crafts a different sort of vibe. Like there it feels very dark and broody, you know?
And it should, which is fine.
Yeah, because the Undead faction. I really like the look of it, actually, quite a bit. I cannot wait for this game. I'm actually super excited. I'm looking forward to the Jurassic Park. Well, I'm cautiously optimistic about the Jurassic Park game. I'm looking forward to this game, and we'll see what happens with State of Decay 3, honestly. It's going to be
I forgot about that game.
Coin flip, whether it's dog shit or good. Yeah, there was an announcement about State of Decay 3 today. Also, for those new guests arriving, new fishies arriving, the bigger news we did talk about earlier, which was the whistleblower from 343 that basically blew the whistle on all the ranted shit going on behind the scenes at 343. Yeah, Halo Studios now, or whatever the fuck they call themselves. Nothing's changed. The company still ranted, but it's worse than we thought. Somehow. It was genuinely shocking how bad things are. They basically have created different institutions within Microsoft that are there to handle complaints, but circle you around till they can get rid of you from the company, fire you. And basically, when this guy was trying to complain about some wrongdoings and basically like probably illegal activities going on there, they basically had him walk around in a circle, fired him, and then had him sign a contract thing where he couldn't talk about it for Muslim for a year. And now he's finally blowing the whistle now that the muzzle is off. So yeah, it's a complete shit show. It's worse than I think people that have realized, and it really goes to reveal how lost. It's a lost cause. It's genuinely a lost cause. Like that's what I have to say about the Revelations Day. I think Halo and Halo, I think it's a lost cause. It's hopeless. And I don't like saying that, but like it is genuinely a lost cause right now. There is no hope for Halo. Halo is dead. It is dead, and it should die 1,000 times over, just so we don't have to see this shit happen again. Oh my, it's that bad, Fuzzy, when you look into it.
I can't say I'm surprised. I've had people I've met in person that worked at the company before tell me things, and I'm not surprised one iota. Almost every single person I've met that worked at Microsoft hates it with a burning passion. That I've personally met. Including old Bungie devs, and I'll always say that, and even going back 30, 40 years ago, it was widely hated as a company working for it. They are just that dumb.
Yep. Very much feel that way. And I think that's
And
the final article. Is there any other articles and discussions? Also, welcome to stream, Hansy Pansy.
Hands.
Where have you been, Hans? Where have you been?
one thing I
He's
can
dead.
say about the whole Microsoft thing is you're starting to see cracks in the Windows. Well, you've been seeing cracks ever since Windows 11, and we'll see the results of that because me and a couple other people, including Artemis, are keeping an eye on this, and the cracks are starting to breed results, and Microsoft is getting worried. Whether they'll continue is a whole other story, but the trend is starting to turn.
Yeah. Honestly, like I said earlier, the only way to really salvage the situation is direct intervention by probably the federal government. It's that rotten. Like it literally needs somebody to step in. It's too far gone.
You're not going to get antitrust violations on them, unless you can find them crushing competition. But
Well,
in terms of
there might
workplace
be
harassment
something
violations
along
and
with
stuff
the
like that,
India thing, because India is basically stealing jobs, right? Stealing jobs from America because they're infiltrating Microsoft and then exporting those jobs back to
Literally
India.
just taking all the important positions, only hiring their friends, and then creating an enclave in the company.
Yes, and that is like
that's
the
a national
one
security
case.
hazard.
Yes, that's the only thing I think the federal government can step in and like squish them. But like, I don't know. I don't think it. I think it's fucked. I think the whole situation is fucked. Sadly.
You could just see all crash and burn before that even happens, as a lot of the companies that end up forming these foreign enclaves, India being the one that's infiltrated Microsoft and honestly Google Alphabet. A lot of those companies are starting to show serious cracks. The AI bubble on top of the other problems like you just talked about. Again, the cracks are getting worse and worse, and it's not getting better. It's only getting worse. Every single tech outlet has been talking about how we're just sick of you, Microsoft. We're looking for alternatives, and we're just going to keep pushing for that. Like, there is absolutely no patience left from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you throw on top of that the fact that all this tech talent, this is just something I've been personally noticing. I'm sure others have also. A lot of the tech talent that's been ousted from these companies or can't even get in the first place, which is more common in today's day and age. Well, they're starting to do their own thing, which honestly creates a threat to a lot of the established titans that honestly formed under a very different culture than what they are now, which was back in the 80s and early 90s, which is a very different environment. It was formed on U.S. Western cultural talent, not what they turned into today.
Yup, absolutely, Fuzzy. But alas, that is the last article I have. Is there anything Chapfish submitted in the discussions? Or are we good?
I can take a look.
Yeah,
Chapfish, we're talking about the Mass Effect TV show.
Oh God. Do we know anything more about it?
Let's see.
To rewrite scripts and make them more.
Yeah, they're going to rewrite it for non-gamers.
Here's the issue.
So it's going to be
with
completely
anything related to video game adaptations for film, TV show, whatever.
Let's take a look.
It's going to be bad. There, I said it.
Reguline posted it in the stream room.
It's going to be bad. So here, let me help them from my lens, right? So as a retarded writer like myself, Mass Effect TV show ordered to rewrite scripts and make them more appealing to non-gamers. Okay, no, that's a lost cause. Never mind. I was just seeing if I could see this from a different lens. I could see that from a different...
So the thing is, unironically, right? The actual core story of Mass Effect by itself is actually interesting. If they're saying they're trying to make it appeal to non-gamers,
that's bad. That means verbiage.
Yeah.
That's really bad. Like that, the issue is that you're gonna appeal to no one, right? Because the people who didn't like the Mass Effect to begin with and didn't play the games aren't gonna like it now, and the people who like Mass Effect are now not gonna like the show. Like, here's the issue, right? Here's what they should have done versus what they did. What they should have done is be like, okay, we're going to have to restructure the story slightly. And why are we going to have to restructure the story? Well, it's got to be broken into an episodic TV show format. That's the difference. It's still going to be the same Mass Effect you know and love, but we're going to take the story of Mass Effect 1 and turn it into an episodic story. So episode 1 will be about Shepard going to Eden Prime. Episode 2 is going to be about the Council and going to the Citadel and doing some story stuff there. Episode 3 is going to be Shepard leaving the Citadel and moving there. And that's how it should be broken up, because that's how I would break it up as a writer. I would break it up into chunks based on story beats that the video game already has. Because the video game, if you look at it narratively, can already be broken into that structure. You just have to make some slight alterations to how to wrap up and tie in, and then start the next episode, tie in, right? Because episode 1, introduce Shepard, introduce Eden Prime, have the Eden Prime thing happen, end the episode with them going to the Citadel. Episode 2, go to the Citadel, talk to the Council, and then next episode, and then because you can that's how you break it down.
And also, if they want to make changes, here are some changes they could say that it's like, hey guys, do you remember how in Mass Effect 1 it didn't matter what you did, one of the counselors would always shit on you? We're going to change that.
Or honestly, you could just set it in a time period before Shepard. There you go.
They'll never do that.
No, because the issue is the only
do a first contact war or something like that.
They'll never do that either. The only reason why they're going to do Mass Effect TV show is because it's got to be about the titular character. Because it's because this is how these corporations think, right? I got to have iconic thing, and so that you can see iconic thing. And what's iconic about Mass Effect? Iconic gun, iconic outfit, iconic spaceship, iconic place, iconic character. Iconic.
Even though you are right though, First Contact War would be so much more fucking interesting.
It would be really interesting because you could explore a different area of the setting, and it would give the writers the opportunity to explore the world a bit more, and to let the writers feel out the setting a bit more, rather than trying to make the writers match the tempo of the writers for the video game. Because a spin-off series, the benefit it gives the writers some creative wiggle room, because writers do need a little bit of free wiggle room, a little bit, right? So they can breathe and express themselves, but also in a contained manner that expands and builds on things. Unless they're adapting something.
Because the only thing they actually need to do with the First Contact War, if they wanted to do that, is, okay, there's a agreement that humanity will be basically allowed on the Citadel, and that's all they need to actually get to. That's it. Nothing else.
Oh my god, Chumpus says something that's funny, but it would show how out of touch they are. They're going to make the iconic, or the N7 armor, Spectre armor. That would show a very fundamental lack of understanding about the story. A great example, I know, but real quickly, because we talked about this yesterday. So yesterday we talked about this real quickly, is that people would see the N7 armor and think Spectre armor. That shows a fundamental lack of understanding of the setting. The N7 armor is not Spectre armor. There is no dedicated Spectre armor in Mass Effect. I looked that up.
N7 is the Human Special Forces designation, if I remember right.
Yes, you're wearing Spectre armor, and you see Shepard wearing it, is because before he was recruited into the Spectres,
N7 armor.
Was an N7. It's Special Forces for the Human Alliance. Spectres don't have their own armor or stuff. They do have unique armories. Yes, there's a Spectre armory, but they don't have a unique armor. The Spectres are various people and individuals throughout the galaxy selected because of their skills and talents in expediting and solving problems. They're problem solvers. That's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to cut through the red line and red tape. The fact that Shepard wears N7 armor is not indicative of him being a Spectre. It's him indicative of being formerly Special Forces. But yeah, that's just because you see that from tourists in the setting, because it shows a fundamental lack of understanding about what that is and what that means, right? Just like the Normandy is not necessarily a Spectre ship. It isn't. It is actually Alliance military ship. Well, Shepard
is why it's nuts that they give it to Shepard when he becomes a Spectre.
Yeah. Well, to be fair,
in the context of what's happening, it makes sense because while he is a Spectre, you actually, while you do become a Spectre, you technically don't have to answer to Anderson to that. You do. Because you're our guy on the inside. That's how they handle it. You're loyal.
Yes, but that would be like the equivalent of an American soldier going and working for the UN, and they just give him his own frigate from the American Navy. Like, what?
No, no. I understand. While it is a bit fucky, it is one of those things where what
It
they
makes sense
could
in the
also,
confines of the universe. I
yeah,
think.
because it's basically the Alliance gifting it to their new agent who they happen to have worked for previously. That's all it is.
Yes, because throughout the games, Shepard, despite being a Spectre, always is only doing human first interests. Is what he's doing. He might be helping the council with something, but like he's mostly helping humanity throughout almost the entirety of the story arc. But yeah, that would be something really cool. But this is gonna be completely dog shit if I had to guess, and I don't know.
Amazon.
That is my default assumption, like I said, for any adaptation.
Yeah, you only need one word: Amazon.
Yeah, I'll be real. I'm gonna stick to playing Mass Effect modded, and I think that's just the way it's gonna be for Mass Effect content going forward. We'll have to see when we find out more about the new Mass Effect game, because we know BioWare was gutted several times over after the Veilguard debacle. Whether or not that was gutted for the better or not, who can really say? We'll find out when they start revealing stuff actually about the new Mass Effect game. But as far as the Mass Effect TV show, it's a lost cause. Again,
it's gonna go into the Amazon graveyard of failed and alternative
EA is
media,
making a colossal mistake here. They should be revitalizing their squared strategy here, and bring that back. Or cubed strategy, whatever the fuck it was called, and being like, get an oversight guy in charge of oversight, then handle the shows yourself, because that's what EA did the first time. Did Mass Effect, because they do a Mass Effect movie. They did a Dante's Inferno movie. They did a Dead Space movie. Like, EA's produced a lot of actual movies before. EA has experience with this. EA should just do it in-house. It would probably be for the best, rather than having another company or corporation touch it. EA, subcontracting this out to a different company, is a very bad idea. And I think it's a huge mistake.
Rickford sends a membership.
Thank you for the gift of membership. Very generous, Rifford. We'll forgive you.
Let's walk dogs.
All right, sounds good. Either way, I think that wraps up everything today here, Chatfishes. We will see you in the next stream, which will be in about 5-6 minutes. I just gotta grab a drink, and we should be good to go. So see you in the next stream, Chatfish.